Sports presents the NFL as the Cleveland Browns take on the Green Bay Packers. The temperature will continue to drop all day long. There is a breeze and drizzle is in the forecast. Hi everyone, Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcots, thanks for joining us. A couple of second-place teams, one dealing with a lot of injury.
Yeah, and since training camp, the Packers have lost 7 starters, including 4 on offense. Today, they will be without their 2 starting wide receivers, Randall Cobb and James Jones.
All right, we've already had the flip of the coin. Green Bay won. They will defer. Our broadcast today is in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Greg Little is back to get that kickoff to open our broadcast and our game today from Lambeau. He's been leading the team in receiving the last couple years. Mason Crosby is the kickoff man sometimes. Tim Mastey will be taking care of it right now. And here we go with the opening boot, which is out of the end zone. I think that Mastey has the stronger leg. But in practice some this week, it was Crosby. As you take a look at second-year quarterback Brandon Weeden. He turned 30 this week. He had 5 years in minor league baseball. He was a first-round pick out of Oklahoma State last year by the Cleveland Browns. And he comes in with a starting record of 5-13.
And the coaches feel that Brandon Weeden has improved during the season. However, he's got to avoid those critical mistakes of committing turnovers and interceptions in the second half of ball games.
Weeden's got a 1st and 10. Willis McGahee with a gain of 1. You can see Jolly and a couple others jumping on him. And there's the offensive line. Joe Thomas is a 6-time Pro Bowler. Alex Mack, probably the 2nd best center in pro football. The weakness is the right tackle, 2nd-year player Schwartz. Here you see the playmakers, including 84 Jordan Cameron and the wide receiver Josh Gordon. They are players that have made an impact so far on this team. Like Jordan Cameron, one of the best receiving tight ends in the NFL. 2nd down and 9. And that got away from looking for Little. Coverage on the play by Tramon Williams of the Green Bay Packers. 3rd down coming up. Ryan Pickett is the one who anchors the middle. Raji on one side, and they welcome back this season Johnny Jolly, who's missed the last 3 years. Linebackers, a story today. Mulumba, the rookie, will be starting at the left outside. Neal, bad shoulder and all on the right. Hawk is coming off a 3-sack game last week in Baltimore. Here you see the secondary. Morgan Burnett had a good game last week against Joe Flacco in the Packer win in Baltimore. 3rd down and 9. Boy, that one sails on him too. Some bad throws. Little was again in his sights. Incomplete. 3 and out, and the Cleveland Browns have got a punt on their first possession. Good protection for Brandon Weeden. Just clearly throws it way over the head of the intended receiver, Greg Little. Pass should have been complete for a 1st down by Brandon Weeden. Getting off to a bad start as he's thrown it high on 2 pass attempts. Spencer Lanning will be punting for the Cleveland Browns. He back will be the rookie out of Iowa, Micah Hyde. There's a bit of a breeze inside Lambeau today. Here comes Hyde. Brought down by Groves. 40-yard line is where he goes. Also Chris Owens right there. 18-yard return, 37-yard punt, which takes us to 29-year-old Aaron Rodgers. 1st-round pick out of Cal in 05. Waited behind Favre. Took over in 08. He's had 4 4,000-yard passing seasons. He's won a Super Bowl and an MVP, and off again, Solomon, to a great start to a season. And in the words of many of the Cleveland Brown defenders, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback they'll see all season. Plays at an elite level in every phase of the game. Rodgers 1st and 10. Testing him already and going outside for Boykin. Incomplete in the coverage by Buster Screen. Boykin starting because of all kinds of injuries. Here's the line, a rookie in Bakhtiari at the left tackle. Barkley, a 2nd-year player at the other tackle position. Sitton moves over from the right to the left side this year. Eddie Lacy coming off a 100-plus yard rushing game last week against Baltimore. Finley, because of all the injuries, normally the tight end will play more of a wide receiver role today. 2nd down and 10. And the screws right to Finley. Brought down by Hayden at the 15-yard line. Jermichael Finley with the catch. He becomes a top option right now. 26-yard gain, first down.
There's no doubt about it. He's going to come across the field. See him coming right at the top of the screen, getting to the second level of the defense. And they're 11 personnel. It's the favorite personnel used by Aaron Rodgers, with one running back, one tight end. Finley, they believe, is the best option, the best matchup advantage that they have against this Cleveland Brown defense.
He had a 52-yard reception last week against Baltimore. First and 10 from the 14. Here's Boykin again. Tripped up nicely on the side by Screen. Got to the 11-yard line, and a gain of about 4 on the play. Big, stout defensive line. The emerging player is Phil Taylor. He's the nose tackle. Bryant has the most quarterback pressures. They welcome back Jabal Sheard. He's missed the last couple games with an injury. And the headliner here is Hayden. Screen has already been in a couple plays. They are 2 top 20 quarterbacks in the NFL from Pro Football Focus. Second down and 6 from the 11. Finley again. He got by Robertson. He gets by Gibson and takes it in for a touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown pass. And the leap. And Green Bay quickly on top.
Finley is the matchup advantage they want. And it's the matchup advantage Aaron Rodgers gets. You can see him right here. Just a quick out route. They have 2 tight ends on the field. He's essentially a third wide receiver in this personnel package. They just slip it out to him, and then he just rambles in for a touchdown. Very difficult to tackle in open space.
Crosby with the extra point. 7-0 Green Bay. So they got the good return on the punt from Hyde. There was a 26-yard completion to Finley, and then the 10-yard touchdown pass from Rodgers to Finley. So Rodgers with his 11th touchdown pass of the season.
They go with what we call 12 personnel. 1 running back, and then look, 1, 2 tight ends. That's Finley at the top. You'll run the out route, and it's the matchup advantage they want. He's like what we call a third wide receiver. You see Craig Robinson, that's the matchup they want. Tight end versus linebacker. Then he breaks the tackle of the safety and still able to get it in. That's just using an athlete. What did Mike McCarthy tell us about Jermichael Finley? Said that he gives us a wonderful advantage against most defenders with his overall athleticism, and you see the power creating yards after the catch.
So Finley gets it. Last season, 61 receptions. 2 big ones on that drive, including the touchdown pass for the number 2 offense, Solomon, in the NFL, and number 4 through the air.
Now, the other tight end they had on the field was Andrew Quarles. So they're going with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, with both receivers out of today's game.
Caste again sends it deep, and Little lets it go over his head. Another touchback. They'll start once again at the 20-yard line. Will the Cleveland Browns? They come in 3-3. Lost at home last week to Detroit, 31-17. The Packers, as we mentioned, with the 2-point win against the champion Baltimore Ravens, 19-17. Browns with their second possession, 3 and out the first time. And as we welcome our new audience, Green Bay just took it 40 yards, a 10-yard touchdown pass to Finley. And 7-0 they're on top. So here is Cleveland's second offensive possession. And Willis McGahee, he was signed after they traded Trent Richardson. That's a gain of 5 right there. Brought down on the play by Palmer. Let's go to New York and James Brown.
Jets over the Patriots in OT.
Nick Folk missed a 56-yard field goal but got a 2nd and 10 based on a penalty on the Patriots. Makes a 42-yarder. They win in overtime, 30-27.
Jets improve to 4-3. New England drops to 5-2. Kevin and Solid.
That's a big one right there. No one expected that. 2nd down and 5. Packers are in the nickel, as they are most of the time. Whedon dropped by Bess, who is usually sure-handed across the middle. There was coverage by Burnett, making it now 3rd down and 5.
Ball's a little wet. Whedon does throw a hard ball, but nonetheless, Devon Bess has to be able to haul it in. If he catches it, it's going to be a 1st down. You know, Aaron Rodgers does a really good job of executing, putting pressure on the other quarterback to have to make plays in order to keep up on the scoreboard. Here facing already 3rd and 5, Wheaton's got to make a play to keep his offense on the football field.
Whitaker is in next to Wheaton. 3rd down and 5 for Cleveland. Joe Thomas moved and looked like the left tackle, the Wisconsin boy from Brookfield. False start.
False start. Number 73 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Crowd noise can get to even one of the best tackles. Look at Joe Thomas. Got that kick step going up against one of the faster defensive ends in Mike Neal.
And as we welcome our new audience, the Packers have already struck in a 10-yard touchdown pass to the tight end Finley. Green Bay has been hit hard by injuries on both sides of the ball. Second possession for the Browns. They just were penalized, making it now 3rd and 10. And a timeout with 11:44 to play in the first. Sweden and the Browns to talk things over here at Lambeau in Green Bay. Throwback Sunday for the Packers. Uniforms from 1929. That was the first season for a string of 13 championships for Green Bay. After the timeout by Cleveland, 3rd down and 10. Their second possession. He's got the time, and again he's off target. Boy, does he look bad to start things off. The pressure coming up the middle from Hawk. It's 3 and out. They were looking for Devon Bess.
Well, it's just not a clean pocket. And look, you can see just the pocket collapse. A.J. Hawk just rips right through Chris Ogbonnaya to get pressure in the face of Wheaton as he's throwing that ball. A.J. Hawk has been a madman here as of late. 3 sacks 1 week ago.
Probably the best game of his career. That was against the Baltimore Ravens. Leads the team in tackle. The second punt, and that baby was just about blocked by Chris Banjo. Fair caught, 38-yard line by Hyde. The flag is down at the 9, where the punt was launched. As you take a look at our official, our referee today, Jeff Triplett. Packers have won 9 consecutive regular season home games in 22 of their last 23. Browns come in. Best record through 6 games since 2007 for them.
Personal foul. Kicking team. Roughing the kicker. Hit the plant leg of the kicker. 15 yards, automatic 1st down.
Well, go ahead and take a look at it. Cleveland Browns going to get another chance at it. There you go, right there. Well, you got to be smart as you come in. If you're not going to get the block, if you're stone burner, you can't take the shot. You can't take a chance to give them a new set of downs.
He was just signed off the practice squad this week. He's undrafted out of Ohio State. He is seeing time because the regular special teams player, a tight end as well, Ryan Taylor, knee injury, surgery Wednesday and out. It's a new life from the 35 Wheaton. A block from Barnage, 1st and 10. On the move and right into the breadbasket of Little, who is forced out of bounds by Tramon Williams. That is a catch and run, a pickup of 19, and a 1st down to the 46.
Oh, this is one of the best plays I've seen from Wheaton. Watch him escape and get out to the right side. Vision down the field, and then this is a laser he throws over to Little. And I'd love to see the fact that he wasn't trying to run it to pick up the 1st down. He was able to extend the play and buy time until the receivers were able to uncover.
With McGahee in the backfield, who gets the call right here. The 32-year-old running back on 1st and 10. Hit on the play by rookie Nate Palmer. That's his first NFL tackle. It is a gain of 2 on the play as he takes it down to the 44.
And Kevin, so much has been said about the uneven play of the quarterback Brandon Wheaton from Cleveland, but you know, their inability to sustain a run game has really put more pressure on the quarterback to have to make plays. I believe if they can sustain some kind of ability to run the football takes pressure off the quarterback and gives them more balance in the offense.
Well, the numbers say it. They're the number 22 rushing attack. You're right, 24 offense in the NFL. This is Whitaker in, second down and 8 with a burst, and he's brought down by Lattimore, coming off a very good game himself last week in Baltimore. He's down to the 38 and picks up 7. There is the new offensive coordinator, Norv Turner, the former head coach at San Diego.
And everywhere he has been, they've been able to run the football, and I'm sure he wants to improve that area of his football team. Only 1 rushing touchdown in their 6 games so far this season. Certainly need more balance. Goes a long way into helping them to protect their quarterback, Brandon Wheaton. He's been sacked 24 times, second most of any quarterback in the league.
So the Packers trying to defend it with 2 rookie outside linebackers, third down and 1. Wheaton again throwing wide. He has just been off target. That was intended for Whitaker. Fozzie Whitaker from Texas. It'll be 4th and 1, and it looks like they're going to try and going for it.
Looked like Sam Shields nearly intercepted that pass from Wheaton. Would have had himself a pick 6 had he been able to get a hold of it. You take a look at Rob Chizinski keeping the offense on the field. They're going to go for it on 4th down. This is where the ability to run the football is critical. Shouldn't have to put it in the air to convert 4th and 1.
Packers again in the nickel. Ogbonnaya is in the backfield, 4th and 1. Wheaton picked off on the play. Devon House. They were going for Bess. Intercepted. Devon House with his first interception of the season, picking off the second-year quarterback Wheaton.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. And by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
Green Bay only has 3 team interceptions. Number 3 registered moments ago by Devon House. And that turns it over to the 44. Here come the Packers on their second possession. 10-yard touchdown pass to Finley. The first time Aaron Rodgers on 1st and 10. That's high, looking for Jordy Nelson. And the coverage on the play by Joe Hayden, 2nd down and 10.
You know, without Randall Cobb or James Jones in the game, they're going to go with not their 11 personnel. When you hear these 11 or 12 personnel, the first number refers to how many running backs are in the game. The second number refers to the number of tight ends. 12 personnel has been the package of the day. 1 running back, 2 tight ends. And for every personnel grouping, there are 5 eligible players who can catch the ball down the field, and the defense has to match up.
2nd down and 10. It's Boykin outside. By Deshaun Gibson. It's a gain of 3 on the play. He's up to the 47. Gibson, of course, seeing time in the secondary. Randall Cobb is out for Green Bay, and that certainly limits the Packer creativity on offense.
Yeah, that's why they would rather go with 11 personnel. The Packers call it their zebra package. 1 running back, 1 tight end with Jermichael Finley, and then 3 wide receivers. Jordy Nelson, James Jones, Randall Cobb. It's an explosive personnel grouping that Aaron Rodgers is accustomed to putting up a lot of points with.
Aaron Rodgers on 3rd and 7. Good looking reception. Boykin out of Virginia Tech makes the grab. Brought down by Chris Owens. It's a 14-yard gain to the 39-yard line of Cleveland.
Right, Boykin dropped a few last week, and Aaron Rodgers, when we spoke with him on Friday, said, I'm going to keep giving him chances. You know, Aaron's sort of like Tom Brady is right now with some young receivers, having to show patience while the young guys develop.
Yeah. Here's Finley now at the bottom of your screen. James Jones, of course, is out as well with a knee injury. Didn't practice all week. And a 1st and 10. And a look right here at the 2nd round pick out of Alabama. That is Eddie Lacy. Drilled across the way. Hit by Owens and Robertson. Gain of 2 on the play to the 38. So missing Cobb, we talked about that, and no James Jones, who, by the way, led the NFL in touchdown receptions a year ago with 14.
They're missing a lot of productivity. 4 touchdown receptions between the 2 of them, and over 700 receiving yards, and that's just through the first 5 games of the season. So, Aaron Rodgers is having to work with some different parts on the field today.
Yeah, 5-2. Cobb, by the way, on the injured list with the designation to return. 2nd down and 8. Lacey blocked by Evan Dietrich Smith, and a tackle is made as he takes it inside. Gain of 6 on the play. Down to about the 31-yard line. Mingo was down there, the rookie out of LSU. In fact, that's an LSU Tiger tackle and an Alabama Crimson Tide player. How about that?
We asked Aaron Rodgers, hey, you've been used to playing without some of your receivers. You've had injuries before. What's the difference this year? You know what he said? For once, we finally have a run game. He feels that the pressure is off of him. Even without Jones, without Cobb, their ability to run the football helps him to feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah, the run game a season ago was number 20. This year, the Packers number 5 in rushing. 3rd and 3. Pocket goes down. Here is where Rodgers is so crafty. Ward saw that he couldn't go much further. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 3. A Packer first down to the Cleveland 27-yard line.
Is he not having fun playing football or what? He loses weapons like Cobb and Jones, and look at him. He's out there sliding around, getting the jersey dirty. He's pulling grass out of his pants and blocks someone. Aaron Rodgers is a complete package at the quarterback position. Smart, heady. He's got that strong arm, but then the ability to extend plays and move out of the pocket when he's in trouble. He can save himself.
On the 7th play of the drive, 1st and 10. Got away from Kruger. Going outside and incomplete. Good pressure. Corliss was in his sights on the near side. It'll be 2nd down, as Mike McCarthy told us on Friday after practice. He's playing winning football for his team.
No, he really is. Making good decisions. And you can see when the protection breaks down on that play there. Kruger had Aaron Rodgers right in his sights. Should have had him sacked. But the athleticism of Aaron Rodgers, he was able to save himself. Made a smart play by getting rid of the football. Saved a sack there and then kept himself from committing a bad play.
Into the nickel, 2nd down and 10.
Over. Bam, green 18! Green 19!
Eddie Lacy, Bakhtiari with the ball. Slowed up, Groves got a hand on him. Robertson jumps on him again. That's a gain of 5 on the play. The Cleveland defense comes in number 7 in the NFL this afternoon.
Well, they are a much improved unit under their new defensive coordinator, Ray Horton. When you talk to many of the players, they love playing for Ray Horton. He takes input from the players. Of course, he allows them to play with a great deal of freedom. You can see these are the 2 best teams in terms of offense, yards per play, where the Packers are the best, and then this defense under Ray Horton, they're allowing the fewest yards per play in the NFL.
3rd and 5. Lacy finds a hole, and there he goes for the first down. Brought down the play by Owens. The burst over the left side. A run of 13. Green Bay 1st and goal to go with the 9.
Look at Josh sitting right here, and then Bakhtiari. And this is just a stretch play. He's just looking for the alley. Stick that foot in the ground. Look at him. Right between the guard and tackle to the 2nd level of the defense. Tough to tackle. Eddie Lacy. And what did TJ Ward tell us about Lacy? He's a big guy, but he's faster than you think, and I think that was a clear illustration.
Sitting that left guard is as good as there is. A Pro Bowler a season ago. Great block. 1st and goal at the 9. It's Lacy again. Pulling his line with the block. Lacy climbing his way to the 1 on a gain of 8.
This offensive line is the reason why there's a run game. Look at number 70. Look at TJ Lang. Getting out there, putting a body on a body. Lacy can keep his footing. He's going to score a touchdown there. Not easy today. It's a wet field down there. This team, they had gone 44 consecutive games without a 100-yard rusher. And, of course, over the last 4 games, they've done it 3 of the last 4 times with 3 different guys topping 100 yards running the football.
TJ Ward made that last tackle. 2nd and goal at the 1. Kuhn is the fullback. He'll give the block, and Lacy carves his way in for a 2nd Green Bay touchdown.
Well, Aaron Rodgers talked about it. He loses 2 top receivers, and he feels good about the offense because of guys like Eddie Lacy and Franklin. Their ability to power in the run game. This is a new look for the Green Bay Packers in 2013. The rookie out of Alabama behind this offensive line is giving them balance, giving them power, and red zone offense to put points on the board.
I think now there's a lot of Rookie of the Year discussion regarding Lacy, especially after dropping 120 last week on the Ravens and getting a nice touchdown right there. He is making headlines in Green Bay. Crosby with the extra point, making it 14-0 Packers. They cash in on the interception of Whedon by House. And then Lacy, who on that drive ran for 13, takes it in from 1. Well, the Browns and Packers met in the 1965 NFL Championship game here at Lambeau. Vince Lombardi was looking for his 4th NFL championship. Packers opened up on a 47-yard touchdown pass. Bart Starr to Carroll Dale. That was the final game for Jim Brown. He was held in check. Paul Hornung had a 13-yard touchdown run, sealed the win. Packers, and there's a look at Jim Brown, who is in attendance today. He is a special advisor and consultant to the Browns. That was the Packers' 9th overall NFL title, 6th in the championship era. They've won 13 NFL championships, the most in the league. Whitaker from the 2. Signed recently and takes it up the side, the former Texas Longhorn. Returns it 31 yards. So another look at Brandon Whedon, who threw an interception the last time out there for Cleveland. 3:38 in the first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. And by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Wonderful Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame right here in Lambeau. In fact, it's so good that the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio have come here and seen what the Packers have done so well. So after a 1-yard touchdown run by Lacy and an interception of Whedon, 1st down and 10, and outside it goes, looking for the tight end Barnage, and the coverage on the play by A.J. Hawk, 2nd down and 10.
Well, Wheaton's gotten off to a rough start, Kevin. 1 of 8 now in the game. Started off throwing high over the head of Greg Little, had a pass dropped by Best, and then another high throw under pressure with the trash at his feet. Gets picked off by Devon House. He's got to settle himself down, get the ball out quick, but he's got to be sure and decisive when he does throw the football.
Working with a couple tight ends, 2nd down and 10 for Whedon. Willis McGahee hit by Hawk about the 38-yard line, and the gain of about 4 in the play for McGahee, who turns 32 tomorrow. 4-time 1,000-yard rusher. Original number 1 by Buffalo, with Baltimore and then Denver the last couple of years.
This is the area where they can drastically improve as a football team. They've got to be able to run it better. We talked about Norv Turner's offenses on Rod Chazinski, the head coach. They've always been able to run the ball. The Browns have now gone 13 consecutive regular season games without a 100-yard rusher.
Obanaya now in, 3rd and a long 5. That's Cameron with the catch. Up to the 42, drilled by Micah Hyde, the rookie out of Iowa. 4-yard gain. And that will put the ball about 1.5 yards shy of the first.
Cameron is one of the few consistent weapons the quarterbacks have had here in Cleveland. Jordan Cameron, Josh Gordon, home run hitter. They've yet to try him deep.
Obanaya, the direct snap, Wildcat, and I don't think he got it. Packers read it well. Kuhn was there. Packers were back to retrieve what they thought was going to be a punt. And of course, Kuhn trying to get some retribution for the special teams gaffe of a week ago when a punt was partially blocked and he got it as it crossed the line of scrimmage, and he comes up with a very alert play right there. They'll bring the chains across the way to see just how close they are to a 1st down on that 4th.
This is going to be all about the spot, but watch 22, Jerron McMillan, and then Kuhn also. See there, 22 and number 30. McMillan and Kuhn sniffed it out. You know, Cleveland, they're not afraid to coach aggressively. It's one thing the players like, and they're going to pick up a 1st down here.
How about that?
I thought it was a generous spot, to be honest with you, Kevin, because I think your initial call that they were going to be short. Let's take a look at this. There's a hit there. Ball down.
Elbow down. They may challenge that spot. They could easily challenge that spot.
Give Rod Jasinski a lot of credit. He's coached this way with this football team, and there you can see Coach McCarthy, he's going to throw it out. He's going to challenge it. He believes they got a more favorable spot than they deserve. He's going with the elbow down.
I think it's a good challenge.
Go ahead and take a look. Look at the elbow. There's the elbow down, and then he rolls forward, and that's where they place the ball. Mike McCarthy challenges the play. Now watch the elbow of Chris Obanaya, as this is what the officials are taking a look at. That right elbow down right there, but then they mark it at the 44-yard line, and that elbow made contact at the ground when the ball was still at the 43. And that's something I questioned during the break, Kevin. Is there enough evidence to maybe overturn it? Because you can't, where's the ball? Where do you mark it? We know he's down there, but is the ball not at the 44-yard line where they actually marked it? I believe they gave him forward progress after that elbow made contact with the ground. Mike McCarthy unhappy with the ruling on the field.
Whitaker in the backfield, first down and 10 for Whedon to Whitaker, short and incomplete. And Palmer was there to cover him up.
Whedon's really struggling, Kevin. 2 of 10 to begin the game. And even on these short throws, whenever they have a play like that called, North Turner's trying to help his quarterback, trying to help him to get into rhythm, to get some easy completions, but Whedon's not setting his feet. He feels rushed, hurried, and so he's throwing either high or low to his intended receiver.
Packers sticking in the nickel. Again, the 2 rookie outside backers, second down and 10. McGahee, great read that time, and it was made by Lattimore, who had his first start last week in that Baltimore game with 5 tackles, no gain on the play. And fantasy football fans, check out CBSSports.com Player Challenge, a new 4-week game with a cash prize in every league. See rules and sign up at CBSSports.com/challenge. 3rd and 10 for the 3rd down so far of this Cleveland team, at least coming into today. Not very good. Number 25 converting only 3 of 4 and 0 of 4 today. Whitaker is in, offers the block. Whedon almost picked off, incomplete. They had a couple right there, including Shields and Morgan Burnett. Number 42 missed 3 games earlier on with an injury.
Well, he's going to throw this ball late, and it's bracket coverage up the top. See, ball's got to be thrown now, but you can't go there with it because Burnett was sitting all over that route. You have to understand where the coverage is and go through your progression quite quickly, finding the single covered receiver.
They were going for little. 7 plays punt. Lanning to boot it for the Cleveland Browns. Micah Hyde, the former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, back there landing at the 5. And as you can see, it'll be a touchback. 56-yarder by Lanning. Aaron Rodgers, he's been an MVP. He's a Super Bowl winner, and he leads the 3-2 Packers today. Back at Rainy Lambeau in Green Bay, catch a special episode of TV's #1 comedy, The Big Bang Theory, followed by the sharp and funny new comedy, Mom. It all starts tomorrow, 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcots here in Green Bay. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, a 10-yard pass. Rodgers to Finley, a 1-yard touchdown run by Lacey. 3rd possession right now from the 20, 1st and 10. Outside they go. They want to get Boykin going early with no Cobb and no Jones. And Ward led the group. Jackson there at the bottom. Gain of 5. Quick throw to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Boykin is trying to follow in that same role as a Randall Cobb. And the receivers, we talked to Jordy Nelson about it. Their ability to create yards after the catch here in Green Bay. He said it's sort of a tradition amongst the wide receivers. Something they talk about in their room. The ability to run with the football, something that all of them seemingly have been able to do, whether it's Cobb, whether it's James Jones or Jordy Nelson. Now Boykin trying to get the same things done.
Boykin has 4 catches for 26 yards already. 2nd down and 5. Lacey bumping into Sitton and brought down by Ward. Ward is a sure tackler, second leading guy in that Cleveland defense. It's a loss of a yard. It's back to the 23.
Well, something they've been able to do is convert third downs. They've converted all 3 of their third down opportunities in the game today. Mike McCarthy making good use of their ability to run the football.
Well, the 314th consecutive sellout today at beautiful Lambeau in Green Bay, albeit rainy. At the end of one, Rodgers a touchdown pass, 14-0 the Pack. Day of injuries for the Packers. Jones is out, Cobb is out, Boykin's caught 4, Nelson hasn't caught any. Boy, you know, I don't think we can ever minimize this quarterback working with young receivers, getting them up to speed.
Yeah, and in a moment like this on third down, look for the ball to go to Jermichael Finley.
3rd down and 6 to begin the second quarter. Underneath, Jordy Nelson. From behind by Bryant. It's a gain of 13 yards on the play, and Nelson takes the ball up 2, and a flag has been thrown back at the 15. The gain was up to the 37-yard line on the play as it stands right now.
After the play, personal foul, number 99 of the defense with a headbutt. 15 yards added to the end of the play, 1st down.
Paul Kruger gets called on the play, and what great protection from the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers ripped through his rotation. He looked for Finley initially over to his left. Then he comes down and checks it down to Jordy Nelson for his first catch of the day. You know, Joe Hayden's been following him all over the field, and that's why Aaron Rodgers is forced to go to some of the younger receivers, Kevin.
And it's an adjustment period, not only for the quarterback, but certainly these receivers.
It really is. When you lose valuable receivers like James and Cobb, you got to go to these young guys. And Aaron Rodgers talked about the need for him to be patient today.
With the 1st and 10, Barkley holds off the block. It's Jermichael Finley, chased and belted on the play by Gibson. This man has got a lot of different hats he wears. Another flag has been thrown because he's got the skills of a receiver.
Number 67 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Well, I called out Barkley, but he's got the skills as a receiver. So Mike McCarthy says, yeah, we're going to put him in some receiver-type positions, even though he is a tight end.
So by going 12 personnel, you get 2 tight ends on the field. You get Quarles and you get Finley, but he's like the 3rd wide receiver today. And that's why we expect the ball to go to him in crucial moments, as you saw Aaron Rodgers getting it to Finley. That play is going to come back because of the penalty against Barkley. But Finley's got a lot more coming his way today. But they're also expecting some of these young guys to get in on the act. Yeah, you see right there. That was the hole. Taking them to the ground.
Trying to hold off Sheard, and that is a handful. 1st and 20, Eddie Lacy. Grabbed by Kruger, a high-priced free agent from Baltimore. Stops him in his tracks. No gain on the play. This defense of Cleveland, and we've talked a bit about it. Number 23 a year ago, we mentioned before, number 7 against the run. Although the last couple weeks against the Bills and against Detroit, they've been gashed a little bit, and Ray Horton has had to make some tweaks on that defense.
Yeah, he understands that, you know, their frontline guys are as good as anyone in the National Football League. Phil Taylor, Taba Rubin, Dez Bryant, but Ray Horton is such a great teacher. He allows these guys to have input on the defense. They play with a great freedom to go out and make plays.
In the nickel, 2nd down and 20. Here comes Sheard. And outside they go. It's Jordy Nelson with the catch. That matchup against Joe Hayden will be a good one to watch all day long, up to the 47 on a gain of 5.
And Joe Hayden and T.J. Ward, as you take a look at the bottom of the screen, look at Hayden. He stays on top in man-to-man coverage. That's why he doesn't get beat, doesn't give up big plays. He doesn't mind allowing Nelson to come back to the ball for a small gain there, but he's going to have to be patient because sooner or later, Aaron Rodgers is going to dial up one of those play-action long home run balls to Jordy Nelson, and boy, can he go get it.
Miles White in the slot above, Kuhn in the backfield. 3rd and 15. Green Bay needs the 40, make it the 38-yard line. There's a false start.
False start. Number 88 the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
You know, since the middle of last year, Finley has really been on his game. We mentioned before the 61 catches. He's now climbing the ranks of receivers in terms of yards and reception, certainly in tight ends, but overall receiving as well.
He's cutting the mode of a Jimmy Graham, one of those athletic tight ends that can really win in the matchup advantage. And yeah, he's become a more disciplined player, more consistent at catching the football, and I think he's even improved in his blocking.
Cleveland looks like they got 1-2, and Cameron outside Finley on 3rd and 20, following a block and brought down across the way by DeQuell Jackson, who, as we said before, leads this team in tackles. A pickup of 12, 4th down, well shy of the first, and they'll have to punt for the first time.
There you see Rodgers, his confidence level in Finley is, I think, very high. And with some of the young guys on the field today, you're going to see him going to Finley and Jordy Nelson more times than not. But he said he's not going to shy away from going to some of the young guys. The penalties on that possession really derailed Aaron Rodgers' ability to convert first down.
Good had the low long snap. Bess is back there. Hang time of 4-2 and good special teams. Corliss was down there and a couple others making sure that Bess had no room to roam. 41-yard punt. The Browns offense comes back out when we come back to Green Bay. What do they say? The quarterback's best friend is a good running game, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It slows down the pass rush and provides Wheaton with play-action pass opportunities to get the ball down the field.
4th possession, Obadiah. Got by Raji. Watches a block from Thomas. Open up the gap, and he's brought down by a couple, including Burnett. Close to a first down and about 10 yards for Obadiah. Coming up in the Verizon halftime report from New York. Join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon halftime report from our CBS studios. Yeah, they're trying to improve it, but right now there just is not a whole lot there. As we mentioned before, they trade Trent Richardson to Indianapolis.
Yeah, they lack the consistency. But 2nd and 1 now, they're ahead of the game. Should be able to convert this into a first down.
Obadiah, who has run well, looking for some blocking and hit on the play by Mulumba. And close to a first down on that 2nd down and 1. Mulumba from the Democratic Republic of Congo hasn't played a lot of football, but he is raw, and they love his upside.
Yeah, I want to get back to the run game of the Cleveland Browns as you take a look at Mulumba. But here is Obadiah going out of the game. And Trzynski said that he felt like his offensive line was just beginning to become as physical as they have been all season. They bring back the right guard, Sean Laval. They believe that they can really get the run game going. Real critical 3rd down play here.
McGahee in 3rd and 1. Willis. Oh, he was drilled by M.D. Jennings, who sunk low, submarined in. It may not have been enough to stop McGahee, who was out of work. And there is M.D. Jennings. McGahee was sitting at home in Miami. They made the trade to Indianapolis of Trent Richardson, the 3rd overall pick. They called this guy up because the head coach, Trzynski, played at the University of Miami, coached down there, and knew Willis from those days down in South Florida.
Absolutely. And you know what? He was stopped initially, but he was never down. All he did, as a veteran would do, he stuck the ball across the line there. I think he's going to have enough for a first down, even though he was stopped initially. You see what kind of spot they gave him. And, yeah, he was able to extend that ball. And that's why, if you're Trzynski, you go get a veteran off the sofa like Willis McGahee. See right here, he's never down, Kevin. Watch him stick the ball beyond the first down mark right there.
It's a vet,
and he's not down. That's a veteran move there to make a play for your football team. But the Browns rushing comparison before and after Trent Richardson in that trade, you can see it's improved overall, but still needs to get better.
Gordon still hasn't caught a pass. First down and 10. And they go right to Gordon. Coverage by Tremont Williams. This Gordon, and there's Flau all over the field. They throw it right there on that 1st and 10. Gordon is an emerging player in this NFL and a guy that you're going to want to watch not only today but the remainder of the season. A rising player. But he drops one right there, and Williams on him.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 38 in the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Now it's a play-action pass. The run game is working. They want to get the ball over the middle. Now, does he know if he has the ball or not right there? I mean,
well, you played the position.
If he has the ball, then you can tackle a guy by throwing him to the ground. But I know that was maybe a continuation of the play, and I think if you're Williams, you do have to have greater recognition. You don't just get to slam the man to the ground.
Wildcat formation. In there, Marquise Gray, a former college quarterback in Minnesota. And the run there wrapped up nicely by Nate Palmer, number 51, who makes the stop, and it's a gain of a yard. Palmer is from Chicago, went to Simeon High School, and he played high school basketball with a guy named Derrick Rose in high school.
Marquise Gray comes in to run the Wildcat. It's his job to read the end man on the line of scrimmage. And you may say, well, why didn't that play work? He should not have given the ball to the runner. He should have pulled it out of his belly and kept it. He could have ran right around the end for a huge gain.
Running back is Whitaker. Second down, long 9 for Brandon Whedon. Thomas with the block at the left tackle. There he's got Whitaker right in the middle. Lattimore got him first, right around the ankles, up to about the 41-yard line, and a gain of 3.
Let's take a look at that Wildcat play. Let's go ahead and fake it. They're going to read here. You read this end man on line of scrimmage. If he comes here, then you got to keep it and go around the end. Let's go ahead and read it. Now stop it right there. See, with the end comes down, he's got to pull the ball out and go around here. And that's why you have the tight end pulling. He would have had a huge gain on that Wildcat play.
Yeah, that was great, but I'm more impressed with how fast you drew those arrows right there.
That's how fast he's got to read it.
That was pretty good. They're down in 7. Whedon, and he's got his man. Did he keep in bounds? Cameron, he caught the ball. He was working on the rookie Micah Hyde. The gain to the 44. Pickup of 15 for Jordan Cameron, the former college basketball player at USC.
And somehow when the run game gets going, Wheaton sort of gets going, because that's a really good throw and maybe even a better catch by his tight end, Jordan Cameron, in tight coverage. That's just a wonderful catch, because Micah Hyde was right in his hip pocket, still able to haul it in.
Coming into today, 38 receptions, the most by a Browns player in the first 6 games to begin a season. McGahee, MD Jennings was there along with A.J. Hawk, and the gain down to the 38-yard line, a pickup of 6.
You know, you run it on 1st and 10. You go with that sweep play off tackle. You want to be able to get anywhere from 4 to 6 yards, and that's what Norv Turner, your play caller as the offensive coordinator, to stay on schedule. You want to get it to 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 4 to feel like you're ahead of the chains and you have the defense back on their heels.
McGahee in, 2nd down for Whedon. Now some rhythm with Little catching the ball and escorted out of bounds by House. Hit on the play by Lattimore. The gain down to the 31. He picks up 7 on the play. 2014 Pro Bowl balloting is open and unconferenced for the first time ever. You can vote for the best players regardless of conference. Then Pro Football Hall of Famers Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders will draft unconference players as alumni captains. Vote now for your favorite players at NFL.com/Pro Bowl ballot. 9th play of the drive. Rich started back on the 12-yard line for the Browns. McGahee, House, and Hawk. Hawk making the stop. He's from Kettering, Ohio. Is A.J. played at Ohio State, #1 pick by Green Bay 8 years ago. Gain of 2 right there for the Browns.
You know, some quarterbacks need the run game to operate more than others. For years here in Green Bay, when there was an absence of a run game, Aaron Rodgers still played at a high level. Brandon Whedon needs a running game to be able to operate efficiently within the offense, to slow down that pass rush and give himself a chance to make pass plays with play action.
Tight end, 2nd down and 8. Good block by Thomas, but on the other side, here he comes, Mike Daniels, racing through, 2nd sack of the season. It's a loss of 10, and it's back to the Green Bay 39.
Daniels working against the right guard. Look, you can see him coming around right here. And look at it, he just keeps pushing, working against Laval. Is able to make a play. That's just a big guy who can move.
Remember, the linebackers are out today. Clay Matthews gone, Nick Perry gone, Mike Neal. 3rd and 18 has been injured with the shoulder. In now, you see him on the edge. And racing in, Schwartz picks him up, 3rd and 18. Here comes Whedon with time. They need the 21. And out of bounds about the 28 goes Brandon Whedon, an Oklahoma boy. He was a terrific high school pitcher and went to the minor leagues and drafted high and spent 5 years there. Then he decided on college football.
Take a look at this. They're going to come here. He goes there, and then he gets outside. But go ahead and roll it. And let's take a look at the receivers down in the field. They're not used to Wheaton scrambling. And look, they don't uncover. You got to come back to the ball. You got to come back to the ball. Work your way into an open spot. And they're not used to Wheaton being able to extend plays where they have to stay alive as wide receivers.
11-yard run gets him into field goal range. And here comes Billy Cundiff, signed prior to week 1. 46-yard try. Wind at his back. 3 on the board for the Cleveland Browns with 5:11 to play before halftime here in Green Bay. Big play on that drive, a pass to Cameron for 15 yards.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pfizer. DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Acura. Discover more about the Acura RLX at Acura.com/RLX.
People surprised sometimes that Lambeau Field is in a neighborhood. And it's been added on to certainly over the years. We'll look at the numbers on that drive led by quarterback Brandon Wheaton.
Yeah, the run game improved, and so did Brandon Wheaton. He was 3 for 3 on the drive and completed passes to 3 different receivers. Give him a run game and it starts to look better.
And here comes John Kuhn, fullback, who is brought down the play by Eric Martin. Also hit there by Leon McFadden. 20-yard return and some shoving after the play. And there was some pushing by Daniels and others. And you can see the separation between these two teams. 5:06 in the second. Aaron Rodgers has thrown a touchdown pass. He'll come out now for Green Bay. Back at historic Lambeau in Green Bay, a top NCIS agent could hit rock bottom in a new episode of TV's #1 show, NCIS, Tuesday, 8, 7 Central. Only CBS. So here comes Aaron Rodgers. They've got a 10-yard touchdown pass to Finley. They had a 1-yard touchdown run by Lacey. 5 and punt last time from the 31, Eddie Lacy. Weaves his way and then brought down by Ward and tumbles ahead up to the 38. Solomon picks up 7. We came into this game talking about all the injuries for Green Bay's playmakers like Cobb and Jones.
Oh, those two are critical. And because they have an Eddie Lacy, they can still get by and manufacture yards running the football without having to rely so much on the passing game.
Handoff into the nickel. Lacy, 2nd and 3. Brought down by Jackson on a gain of a yard on that play.
Yeah, with James Jones, Randall Cobb out, Mike McCarthy, he's going to rely on the tight ends or Michael Finley. But also, you can't forget about Jordy Nelson because Jordy Nelson can create big plays. He can run after the catch. He can get down the field on those play-action passes. And he and Joe Hayden makes for a wonderful matchup at the bottom of your screen today.
Nelson, the leading receiver with 27 receptions coming in, a couple today. Here's a 3rd and 2. There's Nelson. Hayden is on him. They got the first down up to the 45-yard line. They pick up 6 on the play. The former high school quarterback in Kansas, Wildcat at K-State, and a first down.
So Jordy Nelson, he's matched up with, I think, a potential Pro Bowler in Joe Hayden. You can see Hayden staying on top in good position, not allowing Jordy Nelson to get down the field. And there's times, look, Nelson does catch it, not for a huge gain. 3 catches, 24 yards on the day for Jordy Nelson.
1st and 10 for Rodgers. Look out, here comes Sheard. And he runs out. Flag is down at the 50. Picks up 4 as the play stands right now to the Green Bay 49.
See what's going on here. It's going to be a penalty. Everyone's pointing towards the Cleveland Browns side.
Holding 53 of the defense. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's Craig Robertson, so he picks that up. He's a guy who's emerging and drafted player out of North Texas.
You know, it's hard enough to stop Aaron Rodgers in this offense without giving him anything. And for Cleveland, got to watch those penalties because Aaron Rodgers, just like the great quarterbacks around our league, whether it's Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, you cannot give them extra opportunities by committing penalties to create first down.
Some pretty good names there. First down and 10 from the 46. Rodgers has hit 5 in a row. He hits the deck right there. Aaron told us he gains 4 right there. Aaron told us on Friday, he says, like, I got to, with all the injuries and the changes and adjustments on the offense that you were talking about a second ago, I fight the urge to press and to do things that don't just come naturally and not be patient.
Yeah, he talked about it. He said, hey, I got to be patient. He kind of reminded me of Tom Brady with the young receivers he's working with. He's got Jared Boykin. He has Miles White, the rookie out of Louisiana Tech. And there's going to be times when things aren't going to be pretty, and he's got to provide leadership to help these guys develop.
Lacey on 2nd and 6. Gets to the next level. Brought down by Gibson on the play. That's a burst of 9 for Eddie Lacy, who ran for over 1,300 yards a season ago in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, this is what Aaron Rodgers was talking about. He said this is the difference with this year's team. The ability to run the football. Yeah, we're missing some weapons, but I can give the ball to Eddie Lacy. Plays like that. Now he goes up top.
Almost picked off. Flag has been thrown. Jackson was jumping right in front of the intended receiver, Jared Boykin.
He's quick counting us, Kevin. He's going to hurry it up.
Well, he's so smart and so reactive, and the Browns have been penalized again.
Too many men on defense. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
There's a quick count. Rob Chazinski saying we got to get them in and out of the huddle and off the field. And Aaron Rodgers, you talk about them being smart. That's what the good ones will do. They'll catch it trying to get the personnel grouping to match up to the offense, and he'll go ahead and get his guys up to the line of scrimmage and run a play.
Packers come in 3-2. They started 1-2. Browns have won 3 of 4. They're 3 up and 3 down coming into today. 1st and 5 for Rodgers. In the middle, this is Lacy. Only his 4th reception of the season. Hit on the play by Robertson. He picks up 5, very close to the first down, about the 23, which takes us to the 2-minute warning. They love their team.
Oh, yeah. There's something in the cheese around here, isn't it? There's just something. They do love their team, and they don't get cold here.
At the 2-minute warning, Green Bay with a couple timeouts. Browns the same. 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 23. Franklin in the backfield.
Green 18! Green 18 up!
And he had his receiver incomplete, looking for Franklin, the rookie out of UCLA, the all-time leading rusher for the Bruins. A little high right there. And the pocket was falling around him.
Oh, yeah. And Aaron Rodgers, take a look at his feet. He gets a little bit out of it. See, he didn't set his feet because he knew he had Franklin open. And if they score here, they would have scored on 3 of their 4 possessions in the first half. You get the sense he's locked in on this defense. He's familiar with it because it's the same defense that Dom Capers runs here in Green Bay. That 3-4 zone blitz scheme. He's familiar with what he's looking at with this Cleveland Browns defense.
Same defense you played in as a player.
Yeah, it all started in Pittsburgh with Dick LeBeau. Dom was there.
2nd and 10. Underneath. That's caught by Miles White. First NFL game. The rookie out of Louisiana Tech, undrafted. Signed off the practice squad this week with the injuries to Cobb and to Jones, and he makes his first NFL catch in his first NFL game. Gain of 9 right there. 3rd and 1.
Going to keep the same personnel grouping this defense on the field. Won't allow him to substitute. Going with no huddle. He knows his defense, Kevin.
Plenty of time to operate too. See the play clock up there, only at 5 right now. Franklin. Mingo got him. He's the number 1 pick out of LSU. Gain of 5 on the play. They get the first down. It'll be 1st and goal to go for the Packers.
And remember, Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator for Cleveland, studied under Dick LeBeau in Pittsburgh. But, hey, Kevin Green, the defensive line coach here in Green Bay, was in Pittsburgh.
We go inside again with Franklin. 1st and goal. A pickup of 2 right there for Jonathan.
Getting back to it, Dom Capers, defensive coordinator here in Green Bay, was in Pittsburgh. Darren Perry, he coaches the defensive backs. He was a safety under LeBeau and Dom Capers in Pittsburgh. So these are identical defense. And Aaron Rodgers seems to got a feel for what Cleveland's doing on that side of the ball.
Second and goal at the 8. Deflected at the line. Coming in, Kruger may have been one of the guys. Gibson was coming through 2. I'll have to see the replay. I don't know if Tashawn Gibson was the one to get a hand on it.
I'll give these guys credit. Coming off the right side. See, Gibson, 39, he gets the hand on it. He knew exactly where Rodgers wanted to go. Look, hot route. Wanted to go down at the bottom of your screen to Miles White.
Rodgers has third and goal at the 8 with the timeout taken by the Cleveland Browns. 14 seconds to play before halftime.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Domino's. Visit Domino's.com. And by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
At halftime, we'll take it to New York in our CBS studios for the Verizon Halftime Report. JP, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Collins. Scores, news, highlights, a lot of great early games today in the NFL. Here comes the 13th play for Rodgers and his offense on this drive. Third and goal at the 8. Pretty important play, too, for the Browns, if they can keep him to just 3. Rodgers pressured by Kruger and throws it away. So the Browns defensively do their job. They'll limit Green Bay to a 3-point try, as there was good pressure and it was handed in by number 99, Paul Kruger.
That was excellent pressure. Really good defense by the Cleveland Browns down inside the red zone to keep the Green Bay Packers from scoring a touchdown. Remember, the Packers are going to get the ball with the first possession in the second half. You give them a touchdown here and then put them right back on the field with Aaron Rodgers. Allowing even more points, this game could separate very quickly.
Good job, too, by Desmond Bryant. Here is Mason Crosby, 26-yard try. 3 more on the board. Packers on top 17-3 with 3 seconds to play in the first half. Crosby puts it in. 14-play drive and a 26-yard field goal.
You know, the running game has always been a tradition here in Green Bay with the Packers. How about the great Jim Taylor? He ran his way into Pro Football Hall of Fame as the Packers' second leading rusher all time. And Paul Horn, he perfected Lombardi's famed sweep in the alley and then a rugged play of Edgar Bennett. Well, I'll tell you, they've been some really good runners here in Green Bay Packers history.
Whitaker will take the kickoff, and that will take us with a Micah Hyde tackle to halftime. 17-yard return. Rodgers a touchdown pass to Finley. Lacy a 1-yard touchdown run. Packers at halftime. We'll be back with the Verizon Halftime Report. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Tack on a 1-yard touchdown run by Eddie Lacy, and you've got our halftime score, 17-3. 3-2 Packers over the 3-3 Cleveland Browns. Diet Pepsi encourages fans to bid on pink gear to benefit the NFL Crucial Catch campaign, and show your fan enough by visiting NFL.com/auction to bid for pink. Well, what are your thoughts in the first half? Not a great deal of surprise, I would take it, on both parties.
Well, the Green Bay Packers are playing without 2 of their starting wide receivers, Randall Cobb and James Jones. They've been able to come out and score on 3 of their first 4 possessions, and I think that Aaron Rodgers has been very patient, given the fact that he doesn't have his full complement of weapons, and it's been a lot of pressure on him, but he's been good. He's gotten the ball over to Jermichael Finley. 3 catches for him to start the game. And then how about other guys like Jared Boykins? He's their leading receiver at halftime. They haven't forgotten about Jordy Nelson. And this offense has been clicking. And they've even gotten the ball over to Miles White, the rookie from Louisiana Tech. This offense is doing a really good job of having excellent balance for the Green Bay Packers, both rushing and throwing the football. And right now, if you're Brandon Wheaton, you've got to really get your defense off the field, start to manufacture some yards. Only 89 yards total offense for the Cleveland Browns in the first half.
The Packers won the flip of the coin back to begin the game. They deferred, so they'll get it here to begin the second half. Packer offense so far, no turnovers, no sacks allowed, 17 minutes time of possession. They score on all 3 of their red zone possessions. Previous 6, they had not scored a touchdown. Today they got 2 touchdowns and the field goal in the red zone. Good sign for them as they come in having lost at San Francisco, won here against Washington, lost at Cincinnati, 1-2 straight against Detroit and at Baltimore last week, and our second half is underway. Here comes Franklin from the goal line for Green Bay, running into Kuhn. And then brought down on the play by Tank Carter, the ex-Buffalo Bill, with a return of 26 yards. And so the second half opens up with Aaron Rodgers getting it first down and 10. Solomon right about his, let's see where they're going to mark, 26-yard line.
You know, and we talked about it in the first half. They like to go with 1 running back, 1 tight end, and you know, with the 2 receivers out, with James Jones and of course Cobb out, they've been going with 2 tight ends.
With the 1st and 10, here comes Rodgers. Underneath Lacy. Grabbed by Tashawn Gibson. And he's up to the 32 and a gain of 6 on first down.
They've been very effective. Despite not having their full complement of weapons, they're still able to score on 3 of their first 4 possessions in the first half. Just very efficient. 2nd and 4. Lacy got a J. Lang block and cuts against the grain. Brought down on the play after a gain of 5 by Buster Screen. Has the first down to the 37-yard line. His emergence has been a major storyline for the Packers. I think it's a major storyline because he's just getting better. As a rookie, you know, he's not one of these guys that's going to go away. He's going to get better as the season goes on. And if they can run the football as well as they have over the last couple of weeks, it makes for a much more potent offense here in Green Bay.
Rodgers into the nickel, first down and 10. That's Boykin again, catch number 5. He's picking up 6 yards right there. In the area was Owens, and he's up to the 43.
I mean, even without Jones and Cobb in the lineup, another thing, they're able, as the Packers have always done, with their homegrown talent, to be able to develop players like Jarrett Boykin and Miles White. They're going to be more seasoned by the time Jones and Cobb return.
2nd down and 4. Underneath, once again, they find Boykin. Robertson is there. Owens is there. That is a gain of 13 down to the 43-yard line. Yeah, the motto in Green Bay, the philosophy is draft them, develop them, and play them. They didn't go out and get any free agent wide receivers, and there were some sizable names out on the free agent market.
And that's what Jordy Nelson talked about in the past when Donald Driver or Greg Jennings would go down. He had to step up, and now you're seeing the same with Boykin.
First down. Right on the money and right in stride. Jordy Nelson hit by Gibson, sliding inside. 17-yard gain to the 27.
Oh, Nelson's a big body receiver, 6'3", 215, but so fluid and really good in terms of creating yards after the catch. Not afraid to go into the teeth of the defense over the middle of the field and catch the ball. The patience of Aaron Rodgers.
Lacy on first down, looking for a block from Finley, not there. The tackle was made by John Hughes. Yeah, the Packers could have gone out there. Devery Henderson, Steve Preston, Brandon Lloyd, Deion Branch. I mean, there were some names, but all they do is they go down to their practice squad, elevate a couple guys, and they are performers today.
And they develop talent from within. You saw Eddie Lacy here. They needed a running game. They went out and drafted Eddie Lacy. They went out and drafted Jonathan Franklin. These Alabama running backs, you kind of have your questions about them, but Lacy's paid off here in Green Bay early in his career.
He has. 2nd down and 10. Lacy with 56 yards rushing today. Look at Rodgers. Underneath, incomplete. Lacy was there, covered by DeQuell Jackson with the incompleted pass.
There's the pride of the Tide. We talk about 3 consecutive years. You had first-round running backs out of Alabama. Mark Ingram goes to the Saints. You see what he's done in his career, and this is at least this season. Trent Richardson was traded from these Cleveland Browns to the Indianapolis Colts after being taken 3rd overall in the 2012 draft. And in 2013, Eddie Lacy lands in the first round here in Green Bay. And here's a guy that I think he's paying off big time for this football team.
5 defensive backs, 3rd down and 10. They got him from behind and sacked as he goes down. Kruger and Owens combined right there. First sack, loss of 7, back to the 34. Kruger has not had a sack since opening day.
There's Kruger coming in. You can see he's working against the right tackle there. Don Barkley was able to come in and get the sack. I want to go back and make a correction because Lacey was taken in the second round. He fell out of the first round. And Green Bay scooped him up in the second round of the 2013 draft.
Here comes Mason Crosby, 52-yard field goal try. Had 4 field goals last week, including a 50-yarder. And this one is rolled. Didn't get it. A miss last week of 44, a miss right there of 52. The sack by Cleveland makes a difference. Second half scoring has been a major problem for the Browns this season.
Yeah, it's been critical. And, they've been able to finish in 3 of their 6 games, but then it's been costly. They've led at halftime in every game coming into today.
Whitaker in the backfield on first down and 10 after the missed 52-yard field goal by Green Bay, and a gain of 5 right there and brought down by Lattimore. And you can see the numbers, and they're not very appealing for Rob Chudzinski's team.
Yeah, they score the points in the second quarter, but huge fall off on offense in the third quarter. Then defensively, they are able to stop people in quarter number 2, but then coming out to start the second half, that's where most of the damage has been done. Last week, they allowed 3 touchdown passes to the tight end for Detroit, already allowing a touchdown pass in the first half of this game to the tight end, Jermichael Finley.
And as you saw, they have led at halftime all season long until today in Green Bay. Second down and 5. McGahee is in. Good time for Whedon. Lattimore brings him down. He had a terrific game last week. In his first NFL start, he just has his first sack of the season. Loss of 2, back to the 44.
Yeah, take a look at it here. And, he's got to get the ball out quick. We talk about him releasing the ball quickly. He talked about it. And the comparison between he and Brian Hoyer is staggering in terms of the ball coming out and avoiding sacks and holding on to the football.
And that's a characteristic of a North Turner quarterback, getting the ball out quickly.
Got to get the ball out quickly, particularly when you see the blitz coming. Ball's got to leave the hands of the quarterback.
A lot of indecision. 3rd and 7. They blow that baby dead. A false start.
False start. Number 72 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Schwartz has been a problem, a concern throughout the season. Here we're talking about these 2 quarterbacks. Hoyer out with ACL surgery this past week.
And the critical number to look at is the sacks per attempt. Look at that. He's getting sacked with every 8.5 attempts, whereas it takes 16 pass attempts before Brian Hoyer can hit the ground with a sack. So he's accustomed to getting the ball out much faster than Brandon Whedon.
Whedon 3rd and 12 underneath. This is Little. Hyde with the slip. And A.J. Hawk goes flying into the runner. It's an 11-yard gain on 3rd and 12, about a yard shy. And let's see what the Browns are going to do.
There you see the protection here, getting the ball out right now. See, ball's got to come out just as he clears traffic to Little. Little's got to get going vertical. Was able to make Hyde miss there, but not enough to get the first down.
Hyde is back. Return punts at Iowa. Lanning to punt. I think I said before, he's the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, the Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year at Iowa. Nonetheless, has been a fine for the Packers, and it's fair caught back at the 9 for Micah Hyde. That's a 40-yard punt. Aaron Rodgers will get another swipe at it here in the second half with his team up 17-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Pepsi, live for now. And by Toyota Care. Scheduled maintenance, no cost.
I would assume if you played for Vince Lombardi, that is an office that you did not want to see.
Yeah, if you were sitting on the other side of that desk in one of those yellow chairs, probably wasn't good unless you were signing a new contract, right?
That's Jim Ringo. Jim Ringo will tell you that story.
I've heard that one.
Inverted wishbone. Here's Lacey. First down and 10, diving over the middle. There was a 3-play punt possession by Cleveland. Second Green Bay possession. Gain of 3 up to the 12.
Well, this Green Bay Packer team, and it's not flashy. Yeah, they have more of a running game. They have more balance in the offense. And we know that they want to score 30 points. Mike McCarthy's not shy about wanting to throw the football, but I think they're building this team to be one that can go deep in the postseason in the NFC.
Green 18.
Second down, long 8. Lacy dance a little bit. A flag is thrown in there. Buster's screen makes the stop. Gain of 6 by Eddie.
Holding number 81 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal. It's still second down.
Tonight, 60 Minutes exposes the worst kept secret on Capitol Hill. Plus, get an up close with one of the largest and most amazing creatures under the sea. 60 Minutes tonight. Only CBS. Rain has stopped here a little bit. Raw day. Temperature falling. So there were some flurries in the forecast in some of the northern reaches of the state. 2nd and 13 coming up here for the Pack. Uniforms, replicas wearing today. Back in 1929, this is what they look like. Here comes Shear. There goes Rogers. Here comes Taylor. There goes Rogers. Incomplete. They were coming at him in waves.
He wanted to make sure you didn't say down goes Rogers in the end zone for a safety. He was eluding Phil Taylor and so many defenders. Watch, they're on top of him right away. Look at Jabal Shear making a move right there against Barkley. He's taking Barkley alive, and then Taylor gets the pressure. He just gets rid of it. Once you get outside of that, the box, the tackle box, you can just dump it as long as it gets back to the line of scrimmage. You can throw it out of bounds.
Rubin and Desmond Bryant will be on that line for the Cleveland Browns. 3rd and 13. With the 5 DBs, Aaron throws underneath. Kuhn. Ataba Rubin jumps on him, brings him down. Gain of 8, shy of the first. Green Bay's got a punt.
What an athletic play by Rubin. It's one of your down defensive linemen. He slips and falls down and is still able to run down Kuhn. He either said something about the speed of Ataba Rubin, or maybe that Kuhn's not that fast.
How about the last 2 defensive series for the Browns, holding Green Bay to a 3-point try, which they didn't get. Now they hold them to a punt, keeping them in their own zone.
And now they need some help from their offense.
Mass day, and this is not a good punt. Benjamin reeling himself in, and he'll be in Packer territory to start the next drive. A 32-yarder with very little hang time in the 3rd. Packers on top in Green Bay. Packers come in at 3-2. Both Detroit and Chicago lost in the final minute of the game today. You'll be in Minnesota tomorrow night. Boomer and I will for the Monday night broadcast of Minnesota and the Giants. Best beginning field position be in New York. On the 46, 1st and 10. Devon Best, the ex-Miami Dolphin, brought down by Hawk. Gain of 11. That's a first down. Solomon down to the 35-yard line.
Whedon got the ball out quick there. Now, they have excellent field position. Whedon's got to be able to get his team into the end zone. We told you that they struggled to score points in the 3rd quarter of the football game. The defense has pitched the 3-and-out against Aaron Rodgers in this potent offensive attack to get in great field position. He's got to do something with it.
Whedon has hit his last 5. 1st and 10. The fake to McGahee. First by Hawk, and down the road it goes. Complete over the head of Gordon.
And you talk about him getting the ball out quick. You know, Whedon's got to process things more rapidly. Go ahead and roll it, because at the top of the screen, you're going to get the tight end over the middle. Look at this. See, ball's got to come out right there. See, he's wide open, and that's where you've got to be able to see things, anticipate, and pull the trigger and get the ball out quickly. And I think Whedon can create more big pass plays within the offense if he can develop to that level.
McGahee in the backfield, 2nd down and 10. Up the middle they come. Hawk can't get him. But I'll tell you who does. Tramon Williams, 2nd sack of the season for him. Flying up the middle when Hawk couldn't get him. Williams did. 3rd
Personal
sack.
foul, face mask. Number 50 of the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
That's just incidental, because Hawk was just trying to grab hold of something as he was slipping off of Whedon. You can see he's going to get there first. There he is right there. And see, right there, inadvertently was able to grab that face mask, and Hawk is kicking himself, saying, A, I should have had the tackle. I think you've got to go low when you go at these quarterbacks. You can't go for the head. He's learning that. Had 3 sacks 1 week ago against Joe Flacco, and the team has had 5 sacks in each of their last 2 ball games.
Rager is in, and that is the direct snap. Wildcat goes off to Marquise Gray. Loss of 2 on the play. They shot right through there. AJ was telling us on Friday that, you know, as Jolly was in making the stop, he's a great story. But finishing up on Hawk, he's the one who makes all the defensive calls for this defense.
Well, he's lost weight too. You can see he's slimmed down. He's playing faster and able to make more plays. He said he came out of college. He was about 249. Now he's playing under 240. And he's much more of a factor as a blitzer and pass coverage and as a run stopper.
2nd down and 12. Oh, he's going deep and looking for Gordon. Incomplete with the coverage on the play by Sam Shields.
Josh Gordon, he's the home run hitter in this offense. He's been held without a catch so far today, and you can see why. Sam Shields in his hip pocket. You know he's a long ball guy. You have to be able to play him down the field. And look at the excellent technique by Sam Shields. Gets his head around, high points the ball, did everything but haul it in, as he's been a blanket over Josh Gordon today.
It's 3rd and 12. Timeout. Someone was in the wrong place, and it might have been Greg Little. Browns are moving. Packers on top. 5:13 in the 3rd.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Verizon. This Halloween, trade in your old phone for a new one.
Browns just took their first timeout. 3rd and 12. They need the 14.
This is where they like to get it to Jordan Cameron.
Up the middle they come. He got the pass off to Bess. The coverage by Burnett. Well shy of the first, obviously. He got tangled up in the net, too. There was no gain on the play. They stay at the 26.
You know, Jordan Cameron's open, but see the pressure in his face right now. He's got to run for his life. And he's not able to drive it even further down the field to Cameron. He goes short to Bess.
Number 1 pick, Dayton Jones, was pushing the pocket and coming up the middle and chasing Whedon. So now here is Billy Cundiff with a 44-yard field goal try. He's already knocked one through from 46. He used to have Phil Dawson kicking for the Browns. He was let go. Cundiff right down the middle, 17-6. Browns get 3 more. 5:03 in the 3rd, hanging in there with their defense, tightening their screws just a bit here in the second half at Lambeau in Green Bay. There's Whedon taking a look at the pictures that were taken upstairs and sent downstairs, taking a look at the defensive alignment. I think Dom Capers is throwing a lot of different looks at him this afternoon.
A lot of looks. Their longest play of the day is 19 yards, a pass completed to Greg Little in the first half.
Just had a 44-yard field goal by Cundiff, and he knocks this out of the end zone. So a touchback to the 20, and the Packers will have it 1st down and 10 for their 3rd second-half possession of this afternoon. Here in the second half, you can take a look at Green Bay this season.
Well, at the 5-minute mark, this is what they've done in every game this season. A touchdown pass in the 3rd quarter at the 5-minute mark. And that's exactly where we're at right now, with the ball in the hands of Aaron Rodgers. So this is their moment to strike, and it has been all season long with the 5-minute mark in the 3rd quarter.
Previous 2 possessions here in the second half. Missed field goal of 52. They punted the last time they had it. 1st and 10 for Aaron. Then he goes underneath. Screen pass. Lacey brought down on the play nicely. The defensive line by Hughes. It's out of Cincinnati. Gain of 7 on the play.
And we told you early on, when they get the run game going, Aaron Rodgers, he's not going to get away from that play action pass where he hauls off and throw it deep to Jordy Nelson, who can run under it. We saw it last week with a 64-yard touchdown strike.
2nd down, 3. Lacey again. Gibson with a good beat on him. Gain of 4. But he's got the 1st down up to the 31-yard line.
How does a big back like Eddie Lacy make defenders miss in the open field? They can't get a good clean tackle on him. He's still able to extend and pick up the first down.
Number 1 rookie rusher in the NFL right now is Lacy. On the ground today, Lacy has got 58 yards on 14 carries. First and 10, Lacy, a little shy, incomplete. Was he able to scoop that up with one hand? Looks like he was, yeah, but no gain on the play. Now incompletion. Now they wave it off. Now they wave it off.
And Aaron could have put the ball on him a little cleaner. You see, just kind of throws it low and forces Lacy to have to dig it out of the dirt.
Second and 10, Lacy. Lang and others trying to throw some blocks in there. Rubin at the bottom of the pile and a gain of 2 to the 33 for Lacy. 3-time national champion at Alabama.
Aaron Rodgers was going with a hurry up there. Jordy Nelson was looking back inside like, I don't even know what the play is. That's because it was a run play. He didn't need to know.
Rodgers into the nickel, 3rd down and 8. And brought in by Finley, tackled by Robertson to the 49, a pickup of 15. That is a first down for Green Bay.
You hear all this counting at the line of scrimmage. They count number 52, see, because they can pick up all the protection. Look at the blocking up front. They're able to pick up every single guy on that blitz play. They identified DeQuell Jackson as the guy who sort of start their count. You see, they're calling 52. He's the middle linebacker, and they pick up their count off of him.
First and 10, Lacy. Down by T.J. Ward, gain of 4 to the 47.
This is just methodical by Aaron Rodgers in this offense. He's taking what the defense is giving him. Everything has been sort of underneath to Eddie Lacy on the check down. 5 catches so far. Today you can see the pass distribution, only 11 to wide receivers and 10 total to the tight ends and running backs.
Second and 6, 7th play of the drive. The pocket a little congested. And there he goes downfield. He's looking for his receiver, who is Boykin, who has had a nice afternoon with 6 receptions and 44 yards, incomplete.
Isn't it amazing how he never panics in the pocket? Look at all the trash around him, all the traffic, still vision down the field and giving a wide receiver a chance to make a play without throwing an interception. Rodgers came into today's game an outstanding 28 pass attempts, I should say 2,800 pass attempts in his career, and only 1 pick 6. I just think that's phenomenal.
That is.
He doesn't give the ball to the other team, certainly not for points.
That's an amazing number. 3rd down and 6. Here comes Bryant. There goes Rodgers. Flag has been thrown. The catch by Boykin. The tackle by Owens. The gain right now to the 26 on a pickup of 20 yards. It's a holding.
Number 69 of the offense.
Bakhtiari.
10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
He's taken the place of the injured Brian Bulaga at that left tackle position. Bakhtiari, a 4th-round pick out of Colorado and a rookie.
Bakhtiari's doing a good job. There he is, left tackle there. Now watch it. He's just got to do so much because Rodgers extends the play. See, now right there he holds on. He had blocked him very well, but Rodgers' ability to extend the play to mean that Bakhtiari had to continue to block. He says, look, I'm in a bad position against Dez Bryant once Rodgers was able to get outside. Very tough blocking for 3-4 seconds when you have an athletic quarterback like Rodgers who can extend plays.
He was the only rookie left tackle starting opening day in the entire NFL.
He's done well for them.
He has. And Barkley on the other side of the right tackle. 3rd and 16. Green Bay needs the 41. Rubin is chasing Rodgers. And then Rodgers throws it away. Like I said earlier, the Browns defense tightening the screws here a little bit in the second half.
Well, they were bringing the house, and they were able to flush Rodgers out of the pocket and doing a good job of coverage on the back end. And he said that Rodgers just don't throw many interceptions for touchdown. He said 2,800 career pass attempts, only 1 pick 6. He has a streak of over 2,000 pass attempts without throwing an interception. return for a touchdown.
Mastay, who is the #1 Packer punter in history in terms of career average. Flags all over the field again. And the ball, as you can see, at the 1. Well, let's see what the flags are about. One near midfield, 55-yard, well-placed punt by Mastay, who in the last 2 games had 9 punts and 4 touchbacks. But that one died at the appropriate time.
Illegally downfield on a kick. Number 81 in the offense.
Corliss.
5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
So that'll wipe out that. And the Browns won't be marooned as deep as they once thought. And they'll try it once again with Mastay punting.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Corliss, he's one of those interior linemen on the punt team. And the interior linemen, remember, you can't leave to detach and head downfield before the ball is kicked. That's why it's called illegal man downfield.
Benjamin is back, and he is very dangerous. And again, they're just trying to keep it away, and this is a poor punt. And there goes a flag. And again, they got a little scuffle afterwards. You can see Corliss is right down there, as well as Eric Martin for the Cleveland Browns.
That's a huge swing in field position from when the ball was downed inside the 5-yard line and then taken away because of the penalty on Corliss.
After the punt is out of bounds. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 56 of the receiving team. 15 yards from the out of bounds spot. 1st down.
One penalty after another. Eric Martin working against Corliss right there. Yeah, see, pushing him out of bounds. Well, he did hit him in the back, so that's where the penalty is, and then he takes another shot at him out of bounds.
Well, you can't hit him twice, and that's what he's doing.
You hit him twice as long as you hit him in front, as long as they're in the field of play, right?
In the field of play. Well, they were going to be at the 1, now they're at the 24, and here is Fozzie Whitaker. He has got no place to run, no place to hide. Pickett is there. And Johnny Jolly, who's been one of the great return stories in the league this season. This week, don't miss the show that's in a league by itself with guys who take on all 32 teams and each other every week. James Brown, Phil Simms, and Chris Collinsworth, and the artistry of NFL film. All a part of this great show. Inside the NFL, Wednesdays on Showtime, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. 2nd down and 14. Caught by Little. And flying out of the woodwork there, McMillan to bring him down. And the gain up to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 12 for Little, who played at North Carolina and set some records after being a terrific high school quarterback in the state of North Carolina.
And that play looked more like what you want offensively if you're North Turner. It had great rhythm and pacing. Ball came out of the hand quick of the quarterback, Brandon Wheaton. Quick strike to Little. Give him a chance to create yards after the catch. And now, as you take a look at North Turner, trying to dial up something to convert this 3rd and 2 into a new set of downs.
We go to the 4th in Green Bay as the rain continues to fall with the Packers on top 17-6 on CBS. Early on, the Packers had a 10-yard touchdown pass to Finley. They got a 1-yard touchdown run by Lacy. Those were their first 2 possessions. Back and forth we've gone since we start the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 2 for Brandon Wheaton. And caught by Macon Whitaker, who is brought down by Lattimore. It's a gain of 10 on 3rd and 2, and they'll put him at the 42.
There you can see, there's Whitaker right there. Quick slant, nice throw, good rhythm, timing, and pacing. And Wheaton is standing in the pocket, delivering some nice strikes. His accuracy has improved. He got off to a slow start in this game, but here lately with more decisive throws.
Whitaker was claimed a couple weeks ago, was with San Diego, returning kicks early in the season, undrafted out of Texas. 1st and 10. Barnage, the block, is the tight end. Underneath they go. And that's caught by Gordon. Hawk is on him. Gain of 7 to the 49. That's Gordon's first reception of the day.
It is his first reception. He's had some opportunities. Just hadn't been really clear and precise in terms of his route running. He's had poor footing. We've had some rain and precipitation today, and it's really cost him. He's not been able to keep his footing and run good routes today.
150, 150.
It's second down and 3. McGahee. They'll burst up the middle. Hyde got him first. Burnett got him. Gain of 8 on the play. First down to the 42.
You know, Gordon came in averaging over 100 yards receiving per game, and today just not off to a good start. You can see slippage, droppage, putting the ball on the ground, more slippage, not able to keep his footing, and then not able to finish when the ball's thrown to him down the field. Good defense by Sam Shields there, but he's got to be able to make plays for his quarterback and keep his footing.
McGahee on 1st and 10, blocked by Barnage, tackled by Raji, chasing him from behind, bringing him down. Gain of 6 to the 37. I've heard of slippage. I don't know that I've heard of droppage. But I've written it down as you take a look at the AFC North coming into today. The Browns 3-3.
And Rob Chazinski, he's got this team competing. Let's face it, we know that they're a few players short in terms of the depth you need and missing some players at key positions. They go into the 2014 draft with loads of picks. But right now, I think he has his team just going out and competing each and every week, hanging in ball games. It's a tough assignment to come in here to Lambeau and trying to take on the Packers.
Wilson on that line for Green Bay, second down and 4. Boy, he tried to sling that baby in there and was looking for Bess. And he had all kinds of Packers around him, making it 3rd down and 4. We've mentioned this before, but again with the litany of injuries for the Packers on offense and defense, 2 rookie outside linebackers, Palmer on one side, Mulumba on the other, seeing a lot of defensive snaps today.
Yeah, and A.J. Hawk, I think the mainstay in the middle, the 8-year veteran out of Ohio State. He's playing one well of a ball game. Tipped that pass you just saw from Brandon Wheat.
Hawk is had a great couple of weeks. Great season.
He's getting them lined up. He's the quarterback.
3rd and 4. Good block by McGahee. That's caught by Cameron. Right in front of the rookie Hyde. He makes the grab. 26-yard line. Pickup of 11 on 3rd and 4. And a first down for the Browns.
You know, I like this Micah Hyde. Look at him cover Jordan Cameron, who's now he's just got to get in position. See, he slipped. One more step by Hyde, he makes the play on that ball. But give Jordan Cameron credit. He's working against a really good defensive back in Micah Hyde. He's able to win on that battle. If Hyde keeps his footing, then he gets to the advantage.
So on this drive, Little caught one for 15. Whitaker for 10. A run by McGahee of 8. And a pass right there of 11. 1st and 10. Whedon going deep and looking for his tight end slash fullback, Marquise Gray, undrafted rookie out of Minnesota. The former college quarterback who's taken a couple direct snaps in the Wildcat this afternoon.
Yeah, he's a fine-looking athlete. We saw him make a play in the Wildcat last week. You know, they've given him some opportunities. I thought if he did a better job of reading it, he would have had some long runs in this game. And on that pass from Wheaton, looked like it just slipped out of his hand a bit. Ball is a little bit wet. I told you that there's been some moisture accumulating in this game.
2nd and 10. Hey, he can't find the handle. 3rd and 10.
Well, a couple of things there. McGahee slipped. You know, Brandon Wheaton, there are moments where he lacks touch on the football. You know, McGahee slips and falls down. Now, if the running back is this far away from you, you've got to take something off of that one. No one can catch it when it comes out of a howitzer. That ball had a lot of heat on it at point-blank range.
Whedon on 3rd and 10. Caught by Cameron to the 20. Shy of a first down by 4. Flag is down. Gain of 6 on the play. Neal House among the Packers there to stop that play. Jeff Triplett. He's looking for some clarification.
Illegal formation. Offense. There was no eligible receiver on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
That's got to be frustrating for Chazinski because that's one of those unforced errors. You just have to know where to line up. We've seen some penalties and they've had to call timeouts. because they can't get players aligned properly. 3rd and 15 now. Even getting to that point in the game where you may be 4-down territory for Wheaton.
They need the 16. Wheaton, nobody home. Little was wide and short was Bess. 4th and 15.
Well, this is just Little not running the right route. It's expected to break out. Look at Wheaton. Little just took too long to get on top of the defender and get into position. Because Wheaton doesn't have all day to hold on to the football. We talk about him getting the ball out quickly, Kevin. He needed to get rid of it quickly, and the receivers needed to separate much faster.
Well, if they try for 3 and make it, you make it a 1-score game. This team is going for it on 4th and 15. And again, they need the 16 of Green Bay. Packers have 6 defensive backs. Up the middle they came. It's, Trump. What a defensive play turned in by House. Going for Gordon. House has already got an interception today. And on downs, the Browns give it over.
I tell you this, players, all they want from their coaches is give us a chance to make a play. And coaches have to put players in that position. And then, look at this. They're in a position to make a play, and Gordon cannot come down with it. Much to the dismay of the Cleveland Browns coach.
And what'd you think of the decision not to go for 3, or at least the try for 3, and go for it on 4th and 15?
I thought the play worked. I thought Gordon had a chance to make the catch, didn't come down with it. Even if they kick the field goal, it's still, they're down by 8, and it takes 2 scores to tie the game.
2 tight ends, 1st down and 10, they get it on down. Lacey. And he goes into the teeth of that defense and up to the 34-yard line. They had Taylor and others there, along with Desmond Bryant on a gain of 2.
This Cleveland Brown defense, though, they have really turned it around. They've allowed the Packers to score when the Packers had their first 2 possessions of the game. Since then, they've only allowed 3 points and held the Packers scoreless here in the second half.
See anything they're doing differently defensively, or they made any tweaks as the game has gone along?
Well, they're not giving them any deep shots down the field. They're tackling very well, and then the run game has been non-existent since then.
What a hit. Gibson with the hit. Mingo picks it up. Flag has been thrown. Finley is down. And there go the whistles, and the Packer training staff running out there. And that picture says it all. It was a gain of 10.
This may be a hit to the head of Finley. You can see he has turf on the front of his helmet on the face mask, which means there was a face plant right into the ground, which is enough to ding a receiver. Hit right there, and then see his face into the ground, which would hurt even more. He is defenseless. He did get 2 steps, and then there's the hit. You know, you have to ask yourself, is this a hit on the defenseless player? Because I go back, if he's able to make a football move as he was there, I think we saw a couple of steps forward as Gibson did hit him in the head. It certainly was a shot and a blow to the helmet of Jermichael Finley.
Hit him with his shoulder pad into the, you're right, into the helmet of Finley.
Ruling on the field is the runner is down by contact. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 39 in the defense. Leaving with the helmet.
You can lead.
15 yards added the end of the play, 1st down.
I think sometimes
that's not leading with the helmet.
He led with the shoulder, for one. For number 2, the Jermichael Finley caught the ball and made a football move. Once you make a football move, you're not rendered to be a defenseless player. We'll talk about it more when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And by USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families.
They have brought the stretcher out for Green Bay tight end Jermichael Finley in what is a very thin receiving core to begin with. Finley, a tight end by designation, playing a lot of receiver today. because of injuries to Cobb and Jones coming into this afternoon.
Take a look at this. It's 3 steps by Finley, but then, look, he turns his shoulder. Gibson turns and hits with his shoulder, not with his helmet, did not lead with the head. Now he makes a football move, 1, 2, 3. So he's not defenseless. And then it's Finley ducks his head. He really does try to avoid the contact. He ducks his head, and it's because his head hits the ground, I think, more than anything, that may have caused the injury. But I'll give Gibson the benefit of the doubt because he turned and led with the shoulder, not with the helmet, as the official had stated. And also, I thought that Finley was able to make a football move. And once you catch it and you make a football move, you're not rendered to be a defenseless player.
And just to give you a little background on Finley, he was concussed in Week 3 against Cincinnati. So this is another head injury for him.
And even a larger story, Kevin, if he has a head injury here, and it sure looks like he does it, and watch how his head hit the turf. See, he leads with the shoulder, but when that head hit the turf, I think that's when the injury occurred. And boy, now they're without Jones, they're without Cobb, and the loss of Finley would be huge for this football team.
Right now, certainly, the health of Finley is the main concern, and Dr. McKenzie and the others on that Green Bay staff out there with the very best of care.
And I think it's rather unfortunate because, you know, Finley saw Gibson coming in and he went to duck. And as he ducked, I think Gibson did not lead with the helmet. He sort of turned his body and kind of led with the shoulder. And as Finley was ducking, I think the impetus of trying to get down led his helmet after contact to slam right into the turf.
There was a big question in the offseason as to whether the Green Bay was going to pursue getting him signed, and he is raising the arm, you can see right there, which is a good sign. But there's been a noticeable change in his demeanor and his deportment. He has become much more mature. He is
a model citizen.
He has been a model player with this team, and like we said earlier, he had a slow start at the beginning of last year, mid-season on. He really caught fire, had 61 receptions, and was off to another great season this year.
I think the Packers in this organization do as good a job as any of drafting players, developing players, and even being patient with maybe some of their imperfections and allowing them to grow and develop as players. And we're going to wish Jermichael Finley well, because he is one fine football player.
Six-year player out of Texas, 3rd-round pick. And I don't know if we got a real good shot of this before, but our guys downstairs did, and he's raising the arm and showing he's okay. So now Green Bay, and we'll try to get you an update on his condition as soon as possible. Right to the ambulance, and we'll get an update soon. 1st down and 10 after the Finley reception to the 41 of Cleveland. Eddie Lacy. Not a lot there, plug in the middle. And they've got guys that can plug the middle on that defensive line for the Cleveland Browns, Taylor and others. It's a gain of a yard. He's to the 40-yard line.
Eddie Lacy got off to a great start in the first half. In that second possession, it was all him as they went right down the field and scored their 2nd touchdown of the game. We said since then only 3 points scored. You can see the total yards in the second half. They really have held the Green Bay Packers offense in check.
Corliss and Bostic are the tight ends. They've played a lot already in this game, but certainly now they become more magnified. 2nd and 9. Rodgers finds some depth on that pass. And look who he goes to, Boykin, hurdling a defender in town to the 2. What a play. 1st and goal to the Cleveland 2-yard line. A 37-yard pickup by Jarrett Boykin.
Just what we said, the Browns had kept this offense in check. We told you Aaron Rodgers was going to be patient, and then they would strike somewhere after that 5-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. They go play action to Boykin. He's able to elude Buster screen. Gibson slips and falls down. Not for T.J. Ward coming over to make the tackle. He's got himself a touchdown.
How about Boykin? Dropped a couple passes last week when he had to get in there with the injury to Cobb and Jones. Had 1 screen pass and ran for 43. Coming out today, been terrific. 7 catches for 83 yards. And a timeout taken by the Packers.
Look at Rodgers. He wants to give someone an earful. He's such a good teammate. He's not happy he had to burn the timeout. He knows who's at fault. He doesn't show him up. He just go back over to the sideline. He lets everyone in that huddle knows that we got to get some guys lined up. So he's pointing over there and said, we got to get these guys straight. He might be ready to get someone off the field as well.
Boykin had 10 games a season ago, had 5 catches for the Packers. He was one of 4 rookie free agents to make the opening day roster. He entered the league with Jacksonville and was let go. Green Bay reeled him in. He's been in the system, and he is now finding himself in a very prominent role with all the injuries. And another one today, as you just saw, to Jermichael Finley, who was playing a lot of wide receiver in his position today.
He's the prototype of the typical receivers here in Green Bay. 6'2", 220 pounds, his second year out of Virginia Tech, and he's ready to develop like some of those players we talked about.
First and goal at the 1, touchdown. Rodgers, Nelson.
That's tough for Joe Hayden, and he's done a really good job against Jordy Nelson all day. And at point blank range on the goal line, look at where Aaron Rodgers puts this ball. There's just great chemistry between he and Nelson. It's on the back shoulder, and Hayden plays it perfectly to the front shoulder, which is what you're supposed to do against the slant play. But on the slant, if they put it on that back shoulder and your front side, you're really at the mercy of the quarterback and receiver.
Jordy Nelson, his 27th touchdown reception in the last 34 games. His 5th this year. Crosby makes it 24-6, Green Bay. 8.5 to play. Rodgers has thrown his second touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Packers pulling away in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, the last couple games, in fact the last 3, had thrown 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions today. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes, his 11th and 12th of the season, and his Packers are zeroing in on their 4th win of the year, the ensuing kickoff by Green Bay. This is Benjamin. He's a dangerous punt returner. He gets a block on the play. Barnidge will push one out, and there he goes. He's got 4.3 speed. Hyde gets him down, chopping him deep in Green Bay territory. Slogging is through the rain here and the slick surface of Lambeau. He's down to the 20. He is one of the exciting return men in the NFL.
Well, he's got the speed. He knows how to get vertical. And then watch as he gets to the sideline, his patience right in here. Watch him weave and then burst right there. And look at Hyde. This is impressive. You track down Travis Benjamin like that, you've got pretty good speed yourself. Benjamin is certainly a weapon for these Cleveland Browns on the special teams.
86-yard return. 1st and 10, Whedon. Obadiah is in. He'll get it right here. At least it was intended for him, and it dropped right there. You can see the rain has picked up in its intensity, and we have good news, at least preliminary good news on Finley. He does have feeling in all of his extremities. Obviously, they'll go through a full battery of tests, but the initial word is positive.
That's good, and that's what you want. Positive words for a really good player, and hope that he returns soon.
2nd down and 10. The time, and he slides about the 10 and finds his way for a gain of 9, close to a first down, about a half-yard shy perhaps.
You know, from midway in the 3rd quarter, take a look at this. It's going to be nothing here, and that's why you keep it and run with it. They're in man-to-man coverage. Everyone has their back turned to you. Take off and run, and then slide. He's making better decisions, but he's making better decisions much quicker, and they're able to move the chains.
3rd and 1, Obadiah. With a good block right there from Greco, opening up a door of 5 down to the Green Bay 6, and it's 1st and goal for the Browns.
Obadiah has been giving them some good plays, catching the ball out of the backfield, running it there. And now they've got to be able to convert inside the red zone. They have not been able to do so, had to settle for a couple of field goals. To Norv Turner, you got to take a shot, don't you, to Jordan Cameron, who's been money down inside the red zone for these Cleveland Browns.
Well, certainly their deepest penetration of the afternoon. 1st and goal at the Green Bay 6. Incomplete, looking for Gordon. They had Lattimore, the linebacker, and in the secondary, Morgan Burnett on him.
Oh, they just walled him off. They kept him out of the middle of the field. He was trying to get to the middle of the field, and Burnett came over to help out Lattimore, and just really good coverage. You can tell Dom Capers, his defense, they've scouted his offense well. They knew exactly where Whedon wanted to go and knew what they had to take away.
Second down and goal at the 6. McGahee. Laval with the block, and then they go crowding in there. They had Hawk and they had Jolly, and they had that guy right there, Nate Palmer, a gain of 2, who had only played in 7 defensive snaps coming into today.
Oh, look, they pull Laval. He's trying to run behind him. Well, watch Hawk. He comes up, boy, and everyone to the ball. His defense is really improving for the Green Bay Packers. Now 3rd and goal. I got to believe you're 4-down territory here for sure.
Cameron in tight, 3rd and goal at the 4. And going for Gordon, knocked away beautifully by House. Boy, has he had a terrific game. He's had a pick. He's had a couple of nice passes to Fink. And there he goes again with another one.
Darren Horton is the secondary coach for the Green Bay Packers. He's played a lot, played for Dom Capers in Pittsburgh. You know, they teach them very well here. These guys are very well coached. We were at Friday's practice and just love the organization, the way they communicate on the back end. And you can tell their anticipation for where Brandon Wheaton wants to go with the ball, they're locked in.
4th and goal for Cameron. Overshoots him. Incomplete. Flag at the 5. House had coverage on the near side along with M.D. Jennings.
Offside. Defense number 96. Lined up in the neutral zone. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, 4th down.
But at the 2.
At the 2. Darren Perry, we talked about him being the secondary coach to clean that up. He's got this secondary playing at a high level, and Coach McCarthy is very pleased with the way this defense is coming on. Now on 4th and goal, being in position to make a play. That's what the Packers are looking for.
Fourth and goal at the 2 for Brandon Whedon. Touchdown, Cameron! What a throw! 2-yard touchdown strike and a very small window. Lasering it inside, and the Browns again on the board with their first touchdown today.
Yeah, you got to anticipate also Jordan Cameron over the middle of the field. Remember, they were able to take that away earlier, and you can see both defenders breaking on the ball, just don't make a play on it. So their anticipation was correct, but not very high on the execution part.
6th touchdown reception of the season for Cameron. Coming in as one of the most highly recognized tight ends of this young season in the NFL. The extra point, Cundiff makes it 24-13. The key on the play, Travis Benjamin racing at an 86-yard kickoff return. And then Whedon with a bullet.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway Restaurants. Try the Tuscan Chicken Melt $6 footlong special today. And by Walmart. Get to Walmart and the October savings event going on right now.
Jordan Cameron coming into today caught more passes than any other tight end in the NFL. Just caught a 2-yard touchdown pass, and now maybe an onside kick. There's only been one successful in the entire league this year. That was dropped and recovered on the play by Hayden and dropped on the play by a Green Bay receiver, and that is Miles White in his first NFL game, and it could be offsides because a flag is down at the 39.
Wow. And Miles White had a clear chance to recover.
Offside. 56 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
Been a tough day for Eric Martin. Had a big penalty before, and now he's penalized again.
Let's take a look at it. Up top. Go ahead and roll it. White is going to be lined up top. Right there. Wow.
Actually, it
looked like 59 was the guy.
Carter, yeah. Looked like Carter was the guy. You're right.
Like it was more 59 than it was 56.
So now they mark him back 5 yards.
Nonetheless, what a huge penalty. That's equivalent to a turnover. Because really, the Green Bay Packers, they don't recover it. Cleveland, you get it because of the penalty. Now you got a do-over.
They've got good special teams in Cleveland. We've already seen the nice kickoff return earlier. Cundiff again. He'll try it again. And it goes diving in there, and the Browns look like they may have gotten it once again.
There's a flag. They're saying the ball did not go 10 yards. It has to go 10 yards before the Browns can recover it.
Chris Tabor is the special team coordinator of Dave Taub disciple, and Taub is in Chicago. And
did this ball touch the leg of a Green Bay Packer, Kevin?
I was just thinking that. I'm going to look forward to seeing the replay, because I couldn't tell. All this, of course, in the wake of
because if it touched the leg of a Packer, then you can legally recover it. Now we know the ball didn't go 10 yards. It got across the 40. Well, there you see it there, but did it touch? See right there? Not quite.
I don't know that it
Jolly 97, did the ball touch him? But it certainly, look at that. Look like it touched someone there with a leg. But not quite 10 yards. Did it hit the 40? No.
And it looked like maybe M.D. Jennings had his back near the ball.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal touching by the kicking team. That would give the ball to Green Bay at the spot of the illegal touch. After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Green Bay number 97.
Johnny Jolly.
15 yards, and it'll still be Green Bay's ball, first down.
Who's not so jolly.
Yeah, they're saying a legal touch means the ball did not go 10 yards before the Cleveland Browns recovered it.
Most people know Jolly's story. He's been away, a drug suspension by the league, prison time, coming back, and not that he was a long shot coming to camp this year, but they just didn't know where he'd be physically, away from the game for so long, and sure enough, he made the team. He's been embraced by the organization after they did a lot of their own due diligence to see if this was the right move to invite him back. They have. He's made the roster, and he is contributing.
Well, he's a Packer, and they drafted him. They developed him. And see right here, when he takes off the helmet right there, that's the penalty right there.
Can't do that.
You can't take it off in the field of play. And so his behavior was nothing malicious, but got to know the rules and abide by them. We talk about the Packers and their ability to develop players. How about to understand who Jolly is and work with him, have the patience, and then to invite him back and give him a chance, a second chance, to resume his career.
Corliss is the tight end. It is a 1st and 10, and here comes Eddie Lacy, patient with the sit and block, and then Gibson jumps on his back. It's a 1st down run to the 43, and he picks up 11. Good gain by Lacy. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS has regional action. In one matchup, Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins take on Tom Brady and the Patriots, and the Browns will battle the Chiefs, while the Steelers will tangle with the Raiders. Check local listings, beginning with JP, Dan Shannon, Coach, and Boomer on the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Lacy today on the ground, 76 yards, 18 carries. He's had consecutive games of 99 and 120, and here he goes again. He got by Hughes, and he's wrapped up by Shmaley Kitchen in Jackson. A loss of 2 on the play, back to the 45.
There was penetration in his face. Hughes was in the backfield very quickly. But this is where they are really counting on Eddie Lacy and the running game that we talked about that has improved so much here in Green Bay. You get to this 5-minute mark in the 4th quarter, the ability to close out games, running the football. It's what Mike McCarthy wants. It's what Aaron Rodgers wants. The football team's going to need that down the stretch of the season.
He has made a difference. 2nd down and 12. Bakhtiari with the block at that left tackle. Benson jousting between. There go the flag. Screen. And Jarrett Boykin
Boykin's looking like, is that on me? he had his hands on it. Screen had a better chance of catching it, more so than Boykin. Looks like they may call Screen.
Pass interference. Defense number 22. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. First down.
And Screen has been playing well. He has turned in a nice. He was one of the most heavily penalized players last season in the NFL.
At the top of your screen. See, there are the hands there. But see, I don't know I don't know that there was anything egregious done on that play. Maybe to say he pushed him out of bounds, but he was certainly looking back inside at the ball. Even Chazinski wants to talk to the officials, and my guy was not in clear violation. Some hairs are just too small to split.
319! 319!
11 penalties on the Browns. Lacey, good little stop and start there on the 1st and 10 and brought down by Robertson. I guess the question for the Browns is with the 2 timeouts, when do you start burning some of those as the clock continues to whittle its way down?
I'll tell you what, Lacey moves very well for a big man. And the way that he can cut and stop and go. You know, he's 5'11", 230 pounds. He's got plenty of power, but you can see he's nifty of foot to be able to elude defenders.
Packers have gone a span of 44 consecutive games without a 100-yard rusher. They've had 3 different running backs with 100-yard games this season. Lacey's been right at the top of that. 120 last week against Baltimore. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Rogers the other way. Boykin, and he got in with the dive.
What a play by Boykin.
And his first leap at Lambeau.
That's what he was looking forward to. He wanted to make sure it was a touchdown first, Kevin, and then he wanted to share it with the fans here at Lambeau.
How about Rogers and his ability to change direction, go across the grain? He's just thrown his 3rd touchdown pass today.
Yeah, we told you that Boykin was a big receiver. He's, I think, cutting the mold of a Donald Driver. Some of the other talented receivers you've seen play here for Green Bay, Jordy Nelson, James Jones, and how about Boykin, 6'2", 220. When he catches it, he goes straight ahead, puts his head down to hit the goal line for a touchdown.
8 catches, 103 yards, a touchdown for Boykin. It's 31-13 Green Bay. The Packers have won 9 consecutive regular season games at home, 22 of their last 23. They had to go deep on their roster with all the injuries, and this was one of the kids they had to put prominently in the spotlight this afternoon. It's Boykin going in on a huge afternoon, 100 yards receiving, and a touchdown at Lambeau.
Look at that. That's just power. You don't only get that from wide receivers, but when you draft them the size of Boykin, 220 pounds, he can put his head down against a buster screen. Screen only goes 185. He's 5'9". Boykin felt like he can win the physical battle on that goal line play.
And another kid that they get off the street after he was let go by Jacksonville and sign him as a free agent, and they develop him in 2nd year with the Packers, and he comes in, especially after kind of a surprising appearance last week with the injuries in Baltimore, and Cobb gone and Jones gone, and now tonight Finley gone for who knows how long, and they're going to be counting on guys like him for at least the foreseeable future.
Oh, there's no doubt, and I think they expect to get James Jones back next week. If Boykin playing like this, he can team up with Nelson. They've got their potent trio of receivers.
Fonzie Whitaker finds a slice, and there he goes. House in pursuit. The stiff arm and extra yardage. Nice move right there by Fonzie Whitaker. 56-yard return. Boy, that special teams is doing well. Get inside the mind of a quarterback. Join Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, and Steve Burlock on NFL Monday QB tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. They let go of Bobby Rainey, who was with Baltimore. And, of course, all these coming in the wake of trading Trent Richardson as they try to somehow cobble together their running game. At the beginning of the 47 of Green Bay, Wheaton had a 2-yard touchdown pass the last time. Whitaker with a block, and underneath they go to Jordan Cameron. He's brought down on the play by a trailing Tremont Williams. It is a gain of 5 on the play, and they'll put him at the 42.
Cameron's one of those guys, it's his 5th catch of the game. He leads all receivers for the Cleveland Browns in this game. He's just a guy that just keeps working. He's continued to work despite the score. He wants to get open and catch some football.
Wheaton on 2nd and 5. Once again, Cameron trying to wind his way around. Micah Hyde is right there. It is a gain of 4. With all these injuries we've been talking about with Green Bay, you know, every team goes through them. But Mike McCarthy went to his wife this week, and she had a poster from World War II, a replica, and on it was "Keep calm, carry on," and it was by the British government that they sent out as World War II was approaching. Lattimore makes a stop after a 3-yard gain by Whitaker, but he took those words, "Keep calm, carry on," and used that as a theme this week with all the injuries and all the different things around this team for his team to keep themselves focused.
And we walked into the building, and you could tell they were calm and they were confident.
They were. Wheaton hiding in the middle of that defense. There's Cameron Jordan once again with the stop by Burnett and a gain of 14 and a first down to the Green Bay 21.
Yeah, I just think that the Cleveland Browns are still one of those teams that continue to grow and emerge. I think they still have some missing pieces, but you can tell they're a team that continues to play hard. They're very resilient.
Can't get that one. It's incomplete. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning with a little bit of a shave on it, down to 1:55 with the Packers in control, 31-13. Down in 10 with the Browns at the Green Bay 21. Rodgers has thrown 3 touchdown passes today. Wheaton has thrown 1. Last time they had it. They come up the middle. It's incomplete. Boy, he had a meeting back there. Dayton Jones was back there, and they also had Mike Neal.
Remember we talked with Rob Chazinski. He talked about Wheaton. He said he's coming along, but he just has to avoid the critical mistakes. And plays like this. I mean, he had the Wheaton flip that resulted into an interception against Detroit late in the game last week, and then he does it again there. That pass could have been intercepted.
3rd down and 10. Gordon out of bounds with House ushering him away. Gain to the 7. First down, 14-yard pickup. 1st and goal, Cleveland.
That's a much better throw by Brandon there. Keep him protected, keep his feet, deliver the ball on time. He's got the ability to drive it home. He's shown some good arm strength on some throws in this game.
Wheaton today is 17 of 38. Touchdown pass and a pick. 149 yards through the air. Whitaker is in the backfield with him. 1st and goal at the 7. The hands of Whitaker. Hyde was in the vicinity covering for Green Bay.
You talk about putting some heat on it. Take a look at the standings. Green Bay looking for their 4th win. You know, they've already had a bye. They'd be in first place all alone at the top of the NFC North Division with Detroit and Chicago just behind them. Mike McCarthy doing an outstanding job with this Packer team, despite some of those losses you talked about.
And one big one today in Finley, and if you're joining us late, he does have feeling in all of his extremities. 2nd and goal from the 7. Wheaton. Mulumba is chasing him out of bounds. That's all Wheaton can do is throw it to that happy fan 1 yard deep.
Wow, did you see how far Wheaton went sliding after he was pushed by Mulumba? See, watch him there. Getting a little bit out of sorts, but he does escape. And then you can see Palmer there.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was Palmer.
Now watch this slide. He just he goes a long way now. He hits the rubber.
Palmer was the one playing a lot of snaps today. The 6th-round pick out of Illinois State. 10th play of the drive. 3rd and goal at the 7. Wheaton, and almost picked off. Nice play right there by Chris Banjo. He was signed in preseason after Jacksonville cut him, a long-time starter in college at SMU, and he's found a place on this roster.
I like him. He had that well covered. He anticipated the in-breaking route by the tight end Jordan Cameron.
Browns are closing in on 3 and 4, and a loss here would give the Cincinnati Bengals a 2-game lead in the North. 4th and goal at the 7. Whedon, incomplete for Little.
Little's not happy. He knows he was open. He had beaten the defender. The ball was thrown hard and behind him. Watch him coming open right here. See how it's on that back hip? If you're Little, you got to get ready, though, and make that catch. Because it's going to come hot and hard, but it's behind him. You get it out in front of him, he's open, Kevin. That should be a touchdown for the Cleveland Browns.
He was demoted earlier in the season for drops and things of that nature.
Well, I thought there could have been better ball placement by Brandon Wheaton. On that slant route, you got to put it on the front side of him, particularly once he beats the defender. But you're right, Little has had a hard time holding on to the football at times.
That's his 5th drop this season. He said that demotion served as a wake-up call for him as Rodgers and the Packers take over at their own 7, getting it on downs, 1st and 10. Lacey has got 78 yards. Finds a couple more. Gibson will get him. Gain of 2 on the play, up to about the 9. So the Packers, after today, the Vikings, Bears, and Eagles. Actually, the schedule loosens up here a little bit beginning today. They've had some tough games, including the game last week in Baltimore.
You know those divisional games.
I agree.
The NFC North. Take the records out of it. You play the Vikings, get ready for a battle. You play the Bears, get ready. And, you know, they've got to get Cobb back. They got to get James Jones back, and hopefully Finley can come back, and then they'll feel good about taking on some of those divisional opponents.
Cutler, by the way, had to lead the game today for Chicago. 2nd down and 8. And Lacey up to about the 10. And clock at 31 seconds. Someone told me that already Chicago, as Cutler was leaving, was signing another quarterback, Jordan Palmer.
Yeah, this is where a time of year where the injuries start to take their toll on some of these teams. Cleveland Browns, they've got to go to Kansas City. We know that's not an easy place to play. And then they have a bye after Baltimore. So you and I will be in Cleveland for that Ravens game. Remember, Baltimore, the Ravens originated out of Cleveland, went on to Baltimore and went on to do some great things. And that's a rivalry. And you know Chud's going to have his team ready to play. The one thing about these Browns since he's taken over, they've played hard in all these games.
60 minutes is next, except on the West Coast. 3rd down and 6. Kuhn in the backfield. And he rolls right there for a gain of 5 on his 3rd carry of the season. Timeout taken and 24 seconds to play. Fans don't like it. They're wet and cold, and they'd like to go.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy was like, what's going on here? What are you going to do with that 24 seconds? Can't we all just go home now?
Well, it'll be 4th down, so Green Bay obviously is in a punting situation.
Yep.
Travis Benjamin is back. Benjamin had a wonderful, electrifying 86-yard kickoff return earlier in the game. And Tim Mastay will punt for the Packers inside his own 5. And every time they punted, they tried to keep it away from Benjamin, who comes in as the number 4 punt returner in the NFL today. Another low snap by Good. Move it away. And Packers get it. House is there. Flag is thrown back at the 11-yard line with 13 seconds to play here in Green Bay.
Holding number 96 of the receiving team. They pull and shoot at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Paul Hazel, guilty. 22nd total accepted penalty today. So this means the Packers get it and they'll
Take a knee.
they'll take a knee.
Yeah.
What a day for Boykin.
Look at
Touchdown
that.
reception, 103 receiving yards, 8 catches. Finley had 5 before he left. Nelson had 5. Lacey had 5 out of the backfield today for Green Bay. Really filling in. We told you throughout the afternoon, weathering the injuries. 1 to Randall Cobb. 1 to James Jones, who did not practice this week. He had a knee injury. And now to Jermichael Finley, who was taken off the field in a stretcher, feeling in his extremities. That's all we know, and that's all we were told. Goes to a knee, does Aaron Rodgers on a day where he threw 3 touchdown passes and led the Green Bay Packers to their 10th consecutive regular season home win. They've now won 23 of their last 24 at home. Lacey runs for 82. Boykin with 103 receiving yards for Rodgers and the Packers. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, followed by The Amazing Race, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist. Solomon Wilcox, Kevin Harlan, so long from rainy Green Bay. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.